Oh, you need food and shit, huh?
All right, greetings, gamers, and welcome to the 07 Iron Podcast, episode 4, featuring a ton of people this time. And we're going to be talking specifically about competitions like bingos, the race, raffles, and so on. And we've had 11 competitions in the CC so far that were official competitions, and we're going to go over a few of them, see what we can improve, what we can do in the future, and what we see the future of bingos like in our CC. So, first, I'm your host, Lone Gym Rat, as you most likely know, and I'm a collection logger. That's really all I have to say. So, let's just start presenting people that are in the call. So, BWAK, why don't you break the ice and present yourself?
Alrighty. Hi, my name is BWAK or Chicken or basically anything reference that. It's a long time nickname, long story. Anyways, I'm old as dirt, so I've played this game since probably way before most people have. Back when, lob certs for 2K were actually a thing when I was like 10. So I've been around for a while, but I quit shortly after, EOC as most people, but I remember Calfight Queen coming out and all that stuff. And when Rune two-handers were literally the best weapon in the game. Uh, Came back with mobile and had never played anything but pures and started this Iron Man and kind of fell in love with it, being an MMO addict and strategy game player. I'm very inefficient. Uh, I just kind of like to have fun. But as far as goals go, just finishing TOA would be kind of nice, as I'm sure many people here can agree with. Getting my pure up past 2K total, which I'm very close, should be have that done in about 30 days, and have fun PKing on those worlds when I'm not playing my iron.
Hell yeah, cool. All right, Pyro, go ahead.
Hello, I am Pyro.
That's it,
um,
dude.
yeah. Mainly I only play Iron Man. I don't know.
Dude, you don't need an
Do
introduction, Pyro. Everyone knows who
PVM,
you are, you know?
PVM, collection log. I don't know. I do whatever I want.
And also carrying bingos, that's something else you do. Forgot to
Yeah,
mention that.
grind out the bingos, no life.
You should mention the druid robe owner.
Oh yeah, third
Oh,
age
true.
druidic row bottoms owner.
Mm.
No top, no
Mm.
grass.
All right, that's Mr. Pyro. Now, RNG, you've been featured before, but you can do a quick introduction.
My name's Help Me RNG. I'm a PVMer Iron. I have a green log at Tob 2000 KC. I need to do more TOA, but I really don't like TOA. So I'm kind of working between TOA and Master Combat achievements and training up a normie.
Nice. And the normies to top with, I'm assuming.
For the most part, yes, and also just to make sure I don't burn supplies when I'm doing my Tob mentoring with We Do raids. I think I forget how many bingos I've been in, like 8 or something like that, and I am now 3 bingos dry of any contributions whatsoever, despite degenerating each single one.
Yeah, we can talk about that later, but that's usually how it goes. RNG can be a bitch, and your name is RNG, so, correlation, most likely. But next person, Ferro. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ferro. I am on the CCs for like 4 years now, I think. And I mostly PVM. And been on most bingos so far. So one of the shittiest grinds I did was a T-bow back then. And yeah, just PVM in general.
How dry did you
Next,
go
I
for the
love
T-bow?
next.
Sorry, just for people
Uh,
to...
I I got a T-bow on 1700 normal rates. It was the 74th purple, I think.
Okay, so Brown
So it
Tree
was
did
like,
pass you. I didn't
uh,
remember. I thought it was like 76 or something. Damn.
yeah, I was like 1.5 dry, I guess. But it was terrible because it was before both was a thing and a lot of quality of life
And a lot of blow piping and Zora.
upgrades. Yeah, like nowadays you can do CMs comfortably without a T-bow. Back then I wasn't.
Yeah, it's literally what Brown Tree's doing.
Yeah, but mostly it. And for the past year I've been locked into Nex because of the fucking plate body never drops. But yeah, And I need to do Toa now. Toa
yeah.
into next to finish the Torva.
You should do more Toas and get a Fang so you can do 410s with
Yeah.
me. They're actually
I
so
should
chill.
I should play more. Yeah, I've been reducing my playtime a lot lately.
That's a good thing too, though.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, last person, Nate.
Hi, I'm Nate, in-game Nate, by the way. Uh, Usually just do a lot of PVM. Lately, I did quite a bit of TOA with Lone. Uh, I'm a owner of multiple mega rares, kind of the spoon as of lately with anything mega rare raid related. I plan on maxing eventually, not sure when. I usually do skilling in spurts, and then that's when I say I'm gonna max. Uh, That's pretty much it. I do a little bit of collection log, but nowhere near as degen as some people in the clan. That's pretty much it.
Cool, excellent. It's a good introduction. So I guess we can jump straight into it. So recently, a couple weeks ago, we had an event in the CC called the Race, which is unique to our clan, and it's a very unique experience. And I'm gonna actually copy paste the board for you guys. I'm sure you guys can find it, right? You guys have access to the sheet that I sent this morning in the Discord.
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Cool. So I'm gonna switch my recorder to the second monitor, and then we can go over the race together and see what it looks like. So, oh, got crashed. So you can see here it's a little overwhelming at first, but I think we can explain it, Ferro and I, quickly. So essentially what this comp is everyone starts at a certain tile, which in our example was Barrows. And there's two teams, Team Red and Team Blue. And the goal is to race to the finish line, which is over here. So what the teams would do is they would try to circle around. Some would go towards the Barrows section on the left, some would go towards the right, and just complete the boss. And when you get the boss and the drop, you unlock the next one. And you keep on going like that. So this is the third iteration of this comp, just for a reference. We've done it twice before in the past. And yeah, so we had a few new features too. So just to present the features, and then we can talk about them later. We had some free tiles, and we also had a new feature called the keys, which essentially what happens is there's 3 doors to open. And to open this door, you need the key that's respective to the color. And there's 6 locations that were hidden from everyone, including the captains, where there was either a key or absolutely nothing. So the teams had to race to figure out if there's a key behind it or if there's nothing behind it. And at the same time, it added a very interesting strategical dynamic where if you found out where a key is or where nothing is, you're also giving information to the other team. So it was very interesting how it played out where both teams were basically just not touching those tiles to not reveal any information. And it was quite strange as an experience, honestly. I didn't really like it because it was like a way of playing that's unique that I've not seen before, but it was cool to see the strategy involved. Now, in terms of some of the tiles, we had a few new types of tiles. We had a speed on category, which had several different bosses and speeds and multiple attempts from different people that had to be completed to get the tile done. And only the red team did that tile. The blue team was able to bypass it. We had a skilling tile to get 2.5 mil XP in 3 different skills, which that was really cool too because we've never had a skilling tile before, and I think it was a good success. And one tile that was very controversial, which we can talk about later, was the final tile about the dragons. It was quite an intense tile rated around 205 hours, and it was more of an AFK / collection logger tile. So the goal of this tile was to finish the comp all together on Discord, killing dragons, AFKing, and watching movies and fucking around. But some people did not see it that way, so it was quite controversial in that sense. But we can talk about that later. So this is the race V3. I'm gonna show the other 2 races just quickly. So the race V2, you can see there's no key features, but the concept is very similar to the race V3. And just to quickly skim over it, and then the race V1, which is our first one, which is just a straight line. So you can see that we implemented the flowchart as of race V2. So those are the 3 races. That's just to give some context. Now I'm going to switch back to my RS screen, and then we can start talking about the race. So first question on my list on top here. So the design aspect. So balancing rows and tiles. Now this question is more for like Ferro, I guess, because he's the one that did a lot of balancing. So what's your thoughts behind balancing rows and tiles and the way that we do it?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard because, well, when I first like pitched the idea of races, uh, came from like the very beginning and the very end of bingos, which is like the most exciting moments for me because everyone's doing the same thing and rushing content. And I kind of try to replicate that for the whole event. So that's why the race has like a linear pathing so everyone can clump up and do the same thing together. I feel like that's the most fun of it. And then in order to do so, you kind of need to have balanced styles and everyone has to at least like something to do. So like I always try to balance at least like 3 or 4 contents at any given time that you are able to do, so people don't get bored or blocked by a specific content. But yeah, during this race we kind of measured after the race. That is, we kind of measured like how long a tile can be based on the amount of players.
Yeah, we had a good system in place for that. Like we would
Yeah,
have
for the next
assumptions,
race it will be better. Yeah.
but there was a few things that we didn't really consider, which was like certain bosses. Like even though you can kill a lot per hour, it's not necessarily pleasant to kill that many for that
Yeah.
long. Like for example, Nightmare, although it was rated at 40 hours, that tile, which was to get an Inquisitor piece, not everyone is capable of getting that rate, and not everyone is also like willing because it's not a pleasant experience to fight
Yeah.
Nightmare. As opposed to Next, where you can just like mass with a bunch of friends, and
Yeah,
even
but at
if
the
you're
same
doing
time, like the idea was that doing Nightmare was not the only option.
yeah, those other options.
You could do other things. That's the balancing around it. You have
Yeah.
more options. But I think on that scenario, it was in fact the very only thing you could be doing to progress.
Yeah, we had
So
no unless we backtracked to the
yeah,
other side, but then we
yeah,
like that would have
yep,
screwed us over so hard.
yep.
So we were kind of stuck there. But yeah, it's also I don't know, it's cool too. Like on my side, like for the first ever bingo that I designed, I remember I was assuming 30 hours over 7 days per player, and now we're assuming like 20 hours for a weekend. Like we're
Yeah,
assuming like really higher rates
yeah.
now, and people are going a lot harder than they
Yep.
were in the past.
I think this race had like 900 hours for the critical path or something like it,
Yeah, it was in the
or 50 players. So
it was designed almost 1,000 hours,
yeah,
which is insane, and like it was basically wiped. I mean, I guess technically it was wiped. And we had a few teams go dry on certain tiles too, so that compensated.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move on to the next question, which I'm not sure if what you guys are gonna be able to think about that, but it's more on high and low level content. So, for example, like a solitary bingo compared to our bingos. Like, what do you think of like
I know nothing about solitary.
Yeah, that's why I kind of maybe not a good time to ask that question because it's only me. Solitaire is like an Iron Man PVM clan that they don't exist anymore, unfortunately, but they used to be like the biggest Iron Man PVM clan. But they're
Yeah.
like just to reference, I've participated in a few of their bingos and they're like very intense. Like you'd play 15, 16 hours a day, and you'd feel like you're leashing. Like it's
Yeah, that's just like how their mentality worked, I guess, because they are like a high-end PVM and you had to perform.
yeah, you just it was
Like,
different dynamic but it was still fun.
yeah, like if you weren't doing Zoro with Harm Orb, you were leeching or something.
Yeah, especially if you didn't have a harm orb.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Giga gamer typers. Okay.
But I'm just gonna move on to the next question. I think that question is more for like if we have solitary members in the cast, which would be cool one day. Solitary podcast one. But my next question is about the keys concept. So let's start off with BWAK. What's your thoughts on the keys concept that we introduced this comp?
So, a well-known huge lover of these races in general. I thought the key concept itself was very cool. As we learned, and I'm sure we've all talked about already, at least as a clan in some aspect, is the execution of it could definitely use a little bit of tinkering. So we don't have, dodging scape going on basically, and people like once they found out what was behind one not being interested. The concept itself, however, of having things locked behind a key and the empty spaces was incredible. Not just for, the team that I was on that got to watch and laugh as the first team opened up one that had nothing behind it, but also just, the potential of the idea in itself that could be expanded in so many different ways was very impressive.
Yeah, I think it was really funny that the first key that they got was actually nothing. Because I remember when they were about to get it, I messaged Ferro, I'm like, dude, do you know what's there? And he's like, I don't remember. And I'm like, fuck, dude.
Nah, I did not remember. Actually, I kind of remembered like the position of the keys. I did not remember which color, like word where.
It was
That I
just
did not
it
remember
was
at
just
all.
really funny when like because like Trexie's team, the blue team, they got that tile, and they right away assumed that it was a free tile. And I remember I joined their Discord, and Trixie's like, "Okay, boys, what do we skip? Do we skip top? Do we skip this? What do we do?" And then Ferro was just like quiet,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I'm just like, Trexie, what do you mean? What are you gonna do with the like? And
It's
he's like,
nothing.
what? I'm like, read.
Yeah,
And then they
it
just
was.
all swear.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
That
too
was
funny.
incredible.
Was
Being
anyone
there
in
for
that
that
in that
moment.
channel besides Ferro? Were you there,
No,
Pyro?
I was asleep.
yeah. It was very late night for that particular reveal.
Oh, that was crazy though.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, the concept of the key was also intended to kind of give a comeback chance for the team that was behind.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I remember like the other races, one team like bolted ahead, and it was like kind of not fun at all for the team behind. So having information could lead to a comeback, you know.
Yeah, because it saves you time if the other team reveals
Yeah,
tiles for you.
yeah.
You know exactly what to do. But I think in
And
our case it kind of flopped because teams were just not trying to reveal it
yeah,
to like rag the other
yep.
team.
Just stall the other team, yeah.
But we had a few ideas, and I'm not sure if you want to go over it now or should we go over it in the. I guess we can go over
I
it
mean,
now because we're
we
about the
can go over
keys, right?
now.
So,
Yeah.
does anyone have any ideas on how to improve the key concept?
I had two ideas.
Oh, go for
The
it, Pyro.
first, the first one was instead of having a nothing tile, it could be like a third of a free tile. So it's like actually still worth your time to like
Mhm.
get those things. And then the other one was instead of being a third free tile, it's a half a free tile, but only the first team who gets to it can get the tile. So there's 3 half tiles, but there's only 1 free tile available and only one team can get it.
Oh, I
Oh,
see. So people have
interesting.
like
That's
motivation to go
juicy.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it first,
Yep.
actually. So you rush it instead of leaving it there. Interesting.
Yeah.
hmm
Okay, any other ideas?
Yeah, the only thing I could think of as a concept for what we could gain for doing a path or a tile was just getting like a reveal a tile for your team. I know we had something discussed, I think, about that, but I really think knowledge is, as we see, is really powerful of what's to come, especially for the team that's behind. So just getting a reveal a tile, whether it be for your team only that can see a specific tile that you choose, I just think that would be a huge information gain for a team.
Yeah. Actually, I just had a really weird idea, Pharaoh.
Oh no.
Like, what if the race, instead of having the board shared to both teams, we have a separate board for both teams so they don't see. Like, so if the red team unlocks a tile, the other team doesn't know what tile it is.
Okay, but the board is the same for both teams.
Yeah, the board is the
Oh.
same. So
It's
there's
just
no.
unrevealed.
Snake.
So like that means if your team unlocks the
Yes.
next tile, you can troll and pretend like you're doing Zora, but the tile is not Zora. You know, you can like.
I guess. Yeah.
But that would be so messy, like CBA.
Yeah, it would be clunky, but
It's a
it's
random
doable in
dot.
a way.
But any
Yeah.
other ideas for the keys concept?
The concept of it only being to the team that or being revealed rather only to the team that opens it just seems like a very safe way to go about it, and it would be an easy one to test pilot without having to change much. That might remove a little bit more of the backbreaking efficientscape that trickled in, and retaining a little bit more of the ooh, what's behind this tile, I wonder, and sticking to the wholesome fun aspect of the start of the race a little longer before full competitive dive down happens, which is going to happen and obviously is one of the better parts. But when it happens so fast, it kind of removes a little bit of the innocent spark and cuts out a lot of people's potential interest once they already know, like, hey, no matter what I do, if I spend 12 hours doing this, I'm going to end up at Forecath or I'm going to end up at Nightmare, because we already know that there's no point in going back for those other ones because it's not going to give us any gain at all.
Yeah. Yeah, feels like that. I have like one note about the keys.
Go for it.
When we were designing, we wanted to make like a surprise feature, which it kind of literally was. And we used the free tile symbol, like what's the shape of it? The diamond?
Yeah, the
Diamond,
diamond
yeah.
to
The
base.
diamond was the diamond was a free tile on the previous competition. So we kind of want to make people think that those were free tiles. But in the end, they were a whole different mechanic. But I think like in the future, whenever we use a new mechanic, we gotta use different symbols to separate things and like reduce the confusion a bit, because it was a little bit. Some people got a little.
Yeah, it was
Well,
tilting for the blue
yeah.
team.
Yeah, 'cause like okay, now we don't know if this is a free tile. Like maybe it could be something. It's probably nothing, but we cannot know. So like differentiate the icons for different features or mechanics.
Cool. I had one idea, but do you have
Yeah.
anything else, RNG? Or
I don't have much just yet.
all right, no worries. So my idea was actually someone mentioned it to me. I don't remember who, so I feel bad I'm not giving them credit. But they said, how cool would it be if like instead of when you get a key, or imagine like we use the half free tile instead concept, that there's a challenge associated to it. So let's just say Team Red reaches the key, and it's a blue key, and it says as a challenge, trio CM. So now the blue team, they have to pot a trio CM. They have one attempt, and they have to go as fast as possible in that one attempt. And whatever time they get, that's going to be the gate to unlock the key tile for the other team. So I just say, for example, they get a sub 32 trio CM. Well, then when the red team gets to that key, they have to beat the sub 32 CM to be able to get their
Oh.
key. So it basically incentivizes to still go get the key first, because you can make a brick wall. But at the
Oh,
same
that's
time, if you
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
cool.
you can get the information, right? But imagine if like
Yeah.
you wait and then they pull like a 29-minute CM, and no one in the team is capable of doing that, then you guys are fucked. Like,
Well, I think I was the one who had suggested that, and I think with that one, the big part really is that it adds some like element of skill like based competition with it. But like, if you're the team who like gets it first, you still have to send it like immediately, right? So whoever you have on is whoever you have on. So
yeah, that's
that at least
true.
lets the other team plan well. Like, let's say it's like a Tob, for example, and team A puts a really good time in. You can kind of plan when to unlock that tile based on when you have like your best tobbers on, for
Yeah,
example.
you can wait, or that's true. But you don't know what the challenge is, though. You wouldn't know.
You don't know what the challenge is, that's right. So it kind of, but like you can
But you
assume
might
it's going
wait
to be
for
some type of
gamers.
like,
Yeah, you might wait for all the.
yeah.
Or you might not. You might
So
not, because maybe it's a free tile. You know, it depends how we do it.
so in short, um, give motivation to get it, even though it's not a key. You still need motivation to go and get it,
Mm-hmm.
and whenever you get it, you get a reward for getting there first.
Yeah, you get like an
I think
incentive.
Yeah.
that's the two upgrades, I guess, for the next race.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I also like the idea for the half tiles, because then if you
Yeah.
put 3
Oh, yeah,
half
yeah.
tiles, then
Yeah,
that means
that-
it's only
that would-
one
yeah.
skip.
There would be like a reward for getting the non-key and also rewarded for getting there first. I guess those two.
Yeah, really cool.
That would seal the deal for the key door mechanic. Cool.
All right, that's good. We can we'll re-listen to that next year, Ferro.
Yeah. I kind of have a layout in mind already for the V4.
Yeah, I think it's a little too early. Let's do the PVM comp 2
Uh.
first. Dude, like no lie, like we finished a race and Ferro PM me. He's like, I already have my ideas for the race V4, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
New race
Definitely
every
geek
month.
hype for that. Let's do it.
We could probably do it earlier, honestly, because I feel like the race is like our symbolic event in our CC. So
Yeah, they're
Definitely
quite
geek
fast
hype
to
up
do.
on
Like takes like what, couple nights, 2 nights.
well, they're for me they're faster than bingos because you carry a lot in those in the race. It helps me a lot.
Sweaty night shit.
Yeah, load needs carried.
But
God.
yeah, let's move on to the next topic, which is
So
captain prep.
okay.
Oh.
Can we talk about like the free tile a bit,
Go for it. Do it. What's your
the
question?
mechanic? Because I find it a pain in the ass to balance those.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I want to hear what people think about it. Like,
but I think the
I
half
actually have a
tile
pretty
was a good idea for that because
Yeah.
it doubles it.
I liked
essentially.
how it was this time, where it was like just behind like the mega rare stuff.
yeah, I don't. It feels like unfair because on this race it was a no-brainer. The skip tile should have been on Corp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It was
it's because you
just
guys
too
didn't have that
long.
information. Remember?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but still, like,
And what really hurt us is we
Yeah, you guys got
revealed
the
the corp tile. We revealed the corp tile right as they were getting ready to use their free tile
Yeah.
on
yeah,
Dude, that's so
But that's-
true. I forgot about
on
that.
the
Yeah.
skilling. They were gonna use it on skilling.
yeah.
Do
Yeah,
do
just
we
to- okay,
almost
do it,
like make
just-
a
just,
future
uh,
rule that if they
ju-
unlock it, they can't do it to like future shit too, even though it was only 15 minutes?
Yeah,
Like
I don't know.
how
It's
the board is.
No,
it's
but
just terrible to balance because you cannot
Well, no,
put a hard tile.
They didn't
while
unlock
vectoring.
it, so they were going to unlock.
we were going
they were
to.
like gonna focus
let
on
me just
Gauntlet.
give the story. Essentially, we had 2 armor seeds from Gauntlet to get a free tile, and we were like trying to do chambers to get the chambers tile, and our plan was to get the chambers tile and then skip the skilling tile because like according to what we had on the board, the math was pointing at the skilling tile being the longest. So we're like, okay, just skip the skilling one. So we get the cogs tile, so we all go to Gauntlet. We're like 20 people at Gauntlet killing Gauntlet, and then at the same time, the other team they get a tile and they reveal that the tile after is Corp. Get a sigil from Corp. So our entire team's just like, all right, boys, we're leaving Gauntlet. Fuck the armor seed. And we went to do something else, and we kept the free tile for Corp. That information was huge for us, but it was
Oh,
really
yeah,
like
for
a big
sure.
hit for you guys. But it was really funny.
So
Yeah.
more
Nice
towards, I guess,
concept.
Ferro, since I don't know which one of the two of you crunches the numbers per tile grind, I guess you could say. But I think a potential idea would be you can only use this free tile on a grind that averages over 100 hours, or on the flip side, you can have an easier free tile that's easier to get to and unlock that says you can only use this tile on something that's a sub 50 hour expected grind or something like that, kind of to split it
Yeah.
up.
That would
Yeah.
work too.
That would, yeah. It's just like adds on to
The
balance even more. Yeah,
and
so it complicates the
complication,
balancing
too.
even more. Yeah.
I mean, I don't. At the free tile, the objective of the free tile is just to like help people like prevent either a
Add
try
variety.
streak
Yeah.
or like a shitty grind that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Vorkath.
Yeah, like fucking Vorkath.
Yeah.
Like we should have skipped Vorkath and then done the Corp tile. Would have been faster.
Oh shit! And then the last was it the last bingo or the last race? We were all stuck at Nightmare, the same team basically, and Ferro
Yeah.
was punishing himself.
Oh yeah,
Fuck,
Masani.
man.
I think it
Yeah,
did like
that's-
70 in like a night or so.
I think that's 2 events in a row. My team has been stuck at Nightmare. I think I was on Ferro's team for the last one as well.
Pain.
All right, let's move on to the next question, which is captain prep. So this is mostly addressed to like the people who've done captaining before. So RNG, Ferro, and Nate. So the first one here is reviewing sign-up form. So do you actually review the sign-up form?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, go for it.
I
RNG.
spend literal hours on that shit.
Okay, what do you do? Just out of curiosity.
So what I like doing is just like I almost made like my first time captain. I literally made a mathematical like equation to like try and like rank candidates,
Jesus.
and then we always have like there's the captain and the co-captain, right? So like we would then do like a manual ranking and stuff. But what I'm looking for is like what content can they do, like what's their KCs, what gear do they have, stuff like that. Because I'm trying to get like I like to get a very PVM focused group personally. Because like I've seen so many comps where it's like someone's trying to do like a CM or something, like there's no one who can do it.
Yeah, then you get fucked by the CM tile. Just for reference, by the way, for people who don't know, because we have to try to clarify some of our things, by the way, guys, because some people are not in the CC that listen to this. But the sign up form is essentially when we open the competition, we have a sign up period where for 2 weeks people can sign up to the competition, and it's a Google Docs or Google form sheet that they fill up, and it has like your name, your Discord name. And in the past, it used to only have your gear, so you'd have like a Scythe, a T-bow, a Dragon Warhammer, Blowpipe, so on, and also how long you plan to play. But recently, we bumped it up and we added more questions like what content can you do, what content are you willing to do / learn, what's like your time zone, any in real life obligations you want to mention, and we're just trying to get information for the captains. Just it's better to have more information than less, because some captains like RNG would like to go in bigger detail on their events. So that's just the recap of it. But cool. So that's RNG's method. What do you do, Ferro? Do you do anything for preparing as a captain?
It's been a while since I've been captain.
Yeah,
I just
same.
go for the items.
Just
Like
pick
I don't.
T-bows.
Yeah, just pick T-bows and well staffs now, but yeah, just pick the items at the start.
I guess staff
Yeah,
is
nothing
staff or
too
T-bow
special.
better now for comps?
I have no idea. I
'Cause
haven't played the game.
Probably still Tebow.
I would say T-bows,
Probably
but
T-bow.
staff is still good because you can get like 20% more kills an hour at like Thermi, Kraken, God Wars, and it's still good.
I mean, the thing with staff though is you also need like ancestral. Well, you don't need it, but like it's
Oh
hugely
yeah, it's
beneficial. And at
huge.
that point, you probably have a Tebow anyways.
That's true. All right.
Mhm.
So that's
So this, well, I was gonna say this race was my first time ever captaining, and through past events, I've actually been taking note of like big people that grind a lot, so like time put in. And basically, what I took to our team of captains this last race was we sat in a Discord call for I think like it was at least 2 hours and just discussed who we thought would spend more time. We focused on time aspect because in the end, time spent is better than gear. Like you can be as efficient as you want in the time you're playing, but like the people that are putting 10 more hours than the person playing 2 to 3 hours more efficient usually ends up being better just because you have a lot of people grinding. So we sat in a Discord call, ranked our top picks that we wanted, and made sure that in our top 10 were the at least 5 people, because we figured in our top 10 half those people would be chosen by the other team. So we alternated our picks to have at least half the people that we wanted. If we got more than 5, we were even more happy, and then it kind of just went down to after we got our top 10 or whatever, we were just like, all right, who's spending more time? Who said they're gonna be on for the whole weekend? And that's kind of just how our team did our picks.
interesting. So Ferro does gear and
Mm.
you do time.
Yeah, I remember looking at the times too. One of the comps, but like even that
yeah.
information is kind of I don't know.
Yeah,
I
and
think
that's where my notes came in for like past comps. Was I did note down like who has stuck to their time, even though I was
Yeah.
never a captain before.
That's true.
I think
'Cause
time's a more important metric now because we're getting we're getting some stuff now that's just more like amount of like time put in, like certain like collection log slots, like off task things, skill in.
True.
So it's like stuff like that's becoming more important now too.
That's why I always tell people, even if you're low level, still sign up, dude. You can still contribute. But yeah, cool. So any feedback or thoughts on a new sign up form? Like, do you like it? What would you improve, and so on? So for reference, the new sign up form now, we ask for like personal information, like are you going to be working over the weekend? Do you have obligations in real life? What clan do you like to do?
Account type isn't cool info too.
Oh,
Like
true.
your
UIM hardcores.
hardcore UAM.
Yeah, I will say with the year I dominated, I made it my goal to literally recruit 0 UIMs.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay, I'll be honest though. The race as a UIM is like massive
Terrible. Yeah.
disadvantage.
Because you gotta swap content so fast that
Yeah, and
yeah.
every time you swap content, you have to suicide and re-gear, and so the
And then
race
do you
is
have like
rough.
LMS shit saved up too?
Yeah, you need LMS. I remember Proper was poor Proper, dude. He was like suiciding, gearing for 30 minutes to do Sire. Someone got the Sire tile. He's like, fuck, suicided again. Poor guy.
Right. I mean,
Oh,
for
and that
UAMs
one,
is
that one bingo, he wiped his potion stack.
Oh, yeah,
oh
Chambers.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That was hurt. Yeah, that was pain.
Poor Proper, man.
Or Proper.
The
So, hey,
legend.
quick question on the time question from the signups.
Sure.
So, I know I personally do this bad, not always intentionally, but also just because I never know what's going to happen. I always end up signing on the mid to lower tier, and pretty much every time end up just degenning and tripling, if not more, the time expected. Is that a
Yeah.
common thing across the clan, or
Yeah,
it is. It's
Yeah, it
kind
is.
of like, okay, I'll give my take on this because I got flamed in solitary for doing the same thing in their bingos. I was signing up and putting like 6 to 10 hours and playing like 15. But the reason I was doing that is because some people are very toxic in that clan, and if I had a toxic team, I just CBA to play with them. So I was like being conservative by doing that, and I got flamed
Makes sense.
hard for it, by the way, because I gave my
I
honest
mean-
opinion. But like,
I could see that though. I mean, sometimes you just gotta log off, and who
Yeah,
wants to play
exactly.
a game and make it feel
Mm.
like work? And no.
But what you could do instead is you can still sign up with like the medium range of hours, but just write in the notes like if the comp is fun, you might end up playing 10 to 15 hours. You know, you might end up degenning. You can write shit like that in the notes. It's
Yeah.
like it's
We
better
kind
that
of. How many hours we put per player on the weekend? I think it was 18, right?
in our calcs, yeah, it was just under 20.
Yeah. We just gassed like 18 hours per player over the weekend. And it kind of goes around there on average. So yeah.
Yeah. If you compare
18
like
hours per day, right?
No, per
Right.
week.
Right? Yeah.
That's only for you, Pyro.
My bad.
Yeah, I've always been okay with people
Um,
underselling their time.
Yeah,
I think it's a safer
It's
thing
definitely
because
better
if you
to
do have
undersell than to
stuff,
oversell.
yeah, you never know what's gonna happen in real life. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we're not gonna. If someone said 40 hours and something happens, we're not gonna hold them to that if something's going on. But like, I'd rather people undersell it and be able to overdo the time than oversell it and only do 5 hours or less if they said 40 hours
Yeah, I agree
and
with
have
that.
yeah.
But we're like as a CC we're very very generous and like reclined on that aspect. So you don't like usually it's never an issue. I know other clans they would like give warnings and shit like that, but we don't. We're not at that
Yeah, and that's
level.
why I was kind of curious. Like, I was in one other clan before. I think it was Pledgy that I knew from 374, and he was like, "Hey, I'm in this one, and I've been here ever since." So when you guys talk about solitary and this, I'm just like, I have no idea what the atmosphere was. So I'm like, when I think of a clan, I think of our chill CC that's pretty laid back on those kinds of things. So that's why I was curious. Like, does everybody undersell, oversell? Because we have like no consequences. But as you
Just
said,
for reference too,
yeah.
like other clans, most of the clans they have buy-ins for the comps, and we can talk about that because it's not on my list. But so essentially, if you wanted to sign up, you had to pay. I think it was like 3 to 5 mil for most clans, and then you could sign up. Now, obviously,
it's just so people don't just sign up and not know if they can actually compete.
and if there's
That
and
makes
then
sense.
also we use that money to throw it back in the pool.
Oh
But
yeah.
like at the same time, like we don't have any issues with bonds. Like most of our high level community in the clan and staff members are like super rich from PVMing, so we are always
I
able
feel
to
like
fund. But
almost half the winners end up just saying put it towards the next
oh
pot
yeah,
anyways.
most bonds are
Yeah.
not claimed, which is really nice because otherwise I think
Feels
I would be
200
broke.
mil.
People play for
200
fun.
mil this last fucking race.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a half the people collect it, so it's
One thing people do get mad about is if you are playing the game but not contributing towards the bingo, then you get flamed a
yeah,
bit.
that's a big
See,
one.
and
Like-
that's kind of like an abstract piece of the time sign up. Like if I say I'm going to do 8 hours and I have the availability, but I hadn't planned for it, so I moved to something else. I know we had a lot of if with that, and that's a whole nother thing. But
Yeah.
That one's kind of hard, honestly, just because, like, obviously, some people need a mental break from the stress of I need to do this for my team and whatnot. But like, and obviously, tensions are really high during competitions, right?
oh
So
yeah,
everyone wants all hands on deck. So, but usually after it, there's usually no hard feelings. Like if someone
yeah,
ends up so it's kind of hard, like in the moment, yeah, people get mad, but I think overall no one's really had hard feelings about it after
True,
it's been
true.
over.
Yeah, for sure. But like in the heat of the moment, you get a little bit flamed. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Which
I
has
mean,
been
everyone
amazing to
gets
see that
flamed.
it stays
It's
like that too throughout all the events that we've had. Like at the end, everyone's back to shaking hands and doing whatever they do behind Sears Bank, you know.
That's true. I mean, the events have always been toxic, and it's been definitely getting worse in terms of like the competition side of things. Which
But I
is
mean,
like,
that's got to be a side effect of, yeah, I mean, look at the numbers of people that signed up. So now we have a lot more people that are just interested and they're like, yeah, and
yeah,
the
it's good bragging
competitiveness just
rights and everything too.
it's
So
so contagious once you get a taste of it, man, and love it. Race 4 win.
okay, so we can move on to the next topic here, which is drafting. So thoughts on snake draft versus regular draft?
I saw that note.
Is
What
snake
is
what we
snake
do
draft?
now, or
So
So
if you have two teams, it goes team one, then team two gets a pick, then team two gets another pick, then it goes back to team one, and then they
Oh,
get a
okay,
second
okay.
pick.
In two teams, it doesn't work well, but if you have like four teams, if you're first pick, you get like a huge advantage. But with snake draft, if you're first pick, it's kind of disadvantage because you pick first and afterwards you picked eighth. So see, because it's a snake pattern as opposed to regular draft where it's just team 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that make sense, Block?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So what's your thoughts on those two?
I kind of like the snake draft just because, well, me personally as a, being in the draft, not one picking, but as someone who sits on the bench and waits for their turn in dodgeball, I think snake's kind of cool because as RNG and most of the other captains say, obviously the big Rowls in our clan and other gamers as such always are at the top for pick, and it kind of instantly blackballs any one team getting all of the air quote best players for the team. So I've always been kind of fond of that one personally, but there's a lot of other fun potential ways like fantasy draft style. It's all about how much work we want to put in. I say we when it's you guys, the staff, but how much we want to put in to make the draft more exciting when it's already a lot of fun. I mean, seeing the numbers of people viewing just the draft board happening every event is kind of fun in itself because it's
Yeah, it's wild. Like
almost as high
60 people.
participation as the whole event. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, snake for the whole, no monopolies thing. It seems like the safest and most consistent, but time will tell. I mean, so far, isn't that the one we've typically had?
Well, we've usually always done snake, but now if there's two teams, I do regular draft just because it's kind of like I guess confusing because it makes you pick like two essentially, but it does speed it up a lot. So I'm not sure. I kind of like don't. I think if we're doing three or more teams, we should always do snake. But if we're doing two teams, I don't have a preference.
Yeah, I
Check.
kind of I agree with that. I think if there's two teams, it really doesn't matter which way you do it because it won't change up how the picks happen. Like everyone's generally going to get their picks that they wanted anyway. But definitely, if there's more than three teams, it should be a snake.
For sure, for sure.
Cool. Anything else, guys? I think it's a pretty simple question. But the next question
Yeah.
is more interesting. Any other ideas of how to do drafts?
What's the question again? Any other one?
Any other ideas for how to do a draft?
Oh,
I've heard someone talking about like what's it? What do they What does they call it? I don't know.
The
Like buying
auction.
people.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Trexie's
auction.
idea.
Auctions are kind of fun. They get messy real fast.
Yeah, I mean, Trexie mentioned
Wait.
that to me because he did that for his fantasy football when he was playing with his friends.
How would
Yeah.
that work?
So
I'm
essentially,
uneducated.
I was thinking about it. So what you would do, and in my opinion, I don't think it's a good idea, but I'm still gonna say it because it's kind of interesting to think about. So what you do is imagine it's two teams. You give each team $100 in funds,
Oh,
and then you start the draft, and it's like, okay, Iron Ferro, and then Team Red bids $2, then Team Blue bids $5 and $10. Okay, sold
see.
$10, and you have to bid at least $1. So each team takes turns starting to bid at $1. That way you guarantee you buy people, right? Because if no one wants to buy like Pyro, then it's like kind of shitty for Pyro. Like he can't play. so that's how the concept
God.
will go. But like the problem with that idea is that imagine if you're sold for $1. Like how shitty does that feel? Like, oh shit,
Well, I was also even thinking like, what if you could trade people? Like, there's a designated like tile that gets unlocked.
oh my
Trade two
gosh.
players. And like I was thinking, like
Yes.
this sounds fun, but you're gonna hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah, yeah. I
It
feel like
depends.
that's.
Oh, yeah.
It depends. Are you talking about like consensual trade or like two teams, both
I'm
teams,
talking. Captain says like, "Hey, Ferro, you're on the other team now."
and then they trade you Pyro or someone else?
In the
Oh,
bin,
man.
mate.
The salt.
There was another idea too I heard from another comp idea, which was you basically say like, imagine there's a tile you get instead of a free tile or a reveal a tile. It's like a tile where you can basically bench someone in the other team for the whole day. So
Oh
you're
yeah,
like
yeah. I did like that
so you're
one.
like
Nah,
I'd be
Heffy.
so mad.
Heffy, you can't play on Monday.
That's a no
I'd be
go.
so mad to get benched.
That's a fun idea though, because you can turn that into okay. Well, for this tile, we get to pick Lone Gym Rat. You're on our team now for 4 hours. Now you have to help us grind, and then you can go back.
But what if I don't help you guys?
Yeah, that's.
You'd
I
have
don't know.
to. It'd be something you'd have to set like a 1 hour in-game play time of assistant. Just something small.
That's just like
But the problem is
dangerous.
if you get the tile and then you go back to your team channel, you're gonna get
Yeah.
flamed.
Well,
That's
you
just
know,
dangerous.
that's
I don't know.
RuneScape for you, man.
You're like killing Vorkaf with a magic short bow so you don't get any kills.
That's business right there, man. Dang.
Like those ideas are funny in theory, but in practice we're gonna get
Yeah,
like flamed
yeah.
for
It's
it.
just gonna backfire. That's worse than Midfield Dragons, dude.
Whoa.
Whoa! Don't insult
In
them, dude.
theory, it's fun, but hey, it's gonna
Well,
go
it
so
would
much
it would be fun
backfire.
to like or like make it so like the other team can't use like T-bows or some shit for like an hour too. Like you could do
Okay.
something like that.
I have
too.
another idea that's really
That's
stupid.
hard to track though, but yeah.
So imagine if you play and then instead of the reveal a tile or free tile, when you get to it, it's basically called a wormhole, and all the tiles on the board flip polarities. So if there's a blue tile, it flips to red.
Whoa.
So both teams just completely swap boards.
Wow.
No.
That
We
actually
riot.
sounds
Dude, I think I
pretty cool,
I
but
just blew Pharaoh's mind.
I mean,
Like how
honestly, that
fucking
one sounds
how
like the
like
most realistic, though.
how cracked would that? And if you had knowledge about where that tile is, you know how crazy that would be. Like the other team's about to win, and you just flip polarities. And the reason why I know this
Or-
idea, by the way,
Dude.
the reason why I know this idea is because there's a drinking game called Wormhole, which is basically beer pong,
yeah.
but if there's a certain cup on the table that if you get that cup, you switch sides. So it's like the
I mean, 4 UAMs, dude. They just geared and then flip polarities, like re-gear, flip
Look,
again,
let's be honest.
re-gear.
This deserved for being UAM.
those
Gosh.
are just ideas.
Deserved for
like,
Yeah,
UIM. Yeah, exactly.
bro, we're gonna have like 10 signups in the next event after everyone watches this, dude.
Why are there no Ultimate Ironman in this bingo? Gee, I don't know.
Dude, like, those are cool ideas, but they're dangerous.
Yeah, they're
Like,
a slippery
Just
slope.
changing teams and blocking people from playing
I mean,
and all.
yeah, we could have something like draft someone as a spy, like an actual like they're not on like they're
Oh, like they're
playing on the
not
other
signed
team.
up and they can help you for an hour, like a
Or,
celebrity guest
like
shot.
there,
A
yeah, there
brown
could
tree
be like
sleeper
some sort
agent.
of yeah, there could be someone, but you have to like choose the time that they get to like be that spy and it's locked in or whatever.
There's like a chambers tile, so you pull a celebrity and then it's just like brown tree doing CMs all day for your team. So that's actually more fun because that at least it's not like a like you're not.
And it'd be a way to get people to kind of do bingo that usually sit out of bingos for the most part because they have such a giga focused goal that they're not going to break it. Like, hey,
yeah.
we know you're doing this anyways, but can we like snake your
Oh
But it's,
shit!
a little
anyways, it's
bit?
broadcasted, so it doesn't. They don't have to know. Like,
One thing we could do, that would be fun, I think. Like, you draft, like each team drafts a couple streamers, and the
Oh, no
streamers are
way.
not playing at all. But then if they get the item
it
on
counts.
stream, it counts.
So
Or
you-
even just doing it like CC wide. Like how many times last bingo was there something that a team was hunted for and they weren't in the bingo?
So Ferro, what you're telling me is
Yeah.
you're gonna donate $50 to a cold one so he does like CMs or something. Like,
I mean,
We do what it takes, boys. We do what it takes.
but I guess it would be different. We just pick like 2 or 3 streamers, or yeah,
that'd be fun. But RNG's idea is probably
Yeah.
more logical.
yeah, CC wide, yeah.
Because it does happen often where like someone pulls a BGS
Oh, yeah.
and we're like, oh shit, oh who's what team?
And
they're
everyone's
like, oh,
bat casting, and they're like, "Oh, not even in bingo."
no
Yeah,
team,
it's
no
not a bingo
grats.
unless there's a big shark at least once.
Oh yeah, the big
Potatoes.
shark that wasn't in the comp. That's so funny.
Like
Oh, yeah.
right after it started, like
I forgot who that was. Fucking legend, dude. Whoever that is. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. So this next topic is gonna be a hefty one, or a hefty one.
A hefty one?
A hefty one? Is
So
Happy
it's-
joining?
No, he was in the last podcast, dude. He liked the
No, it's-
video, so he liked one of my YouTube videos. So
he
my
liked
mission
the
is
video.
completed.
That's a win. You can die now.
Exactly, dude. I've succeeded at
congrats, you
YouTube.
made it, bro.
Just the Stockholm syndrome. Oh my god, he liked my video. He showed me a basic kindness.
So the next topic is about the event itself. So we're gonna go in details about certain things, which we already talked about a bit of it, but not all of it. So let's go in order. So discussing on tiles. So I put in parentheses here the final tile. Also, we have Stirling tile, speedrun tile, PVM, Vorkav that brick walled us, Nightmare that brick walled us, and the Toa that brick walled the other team. So I don't know who wants to start, but it's quite a lengthy question.
Sorry, which one is this?
It's the event itself. Oh boy, in parentheses. Discuss on tiles, final tiles, scaling tiles, speedrun tile, PVM, Vorkav, so on.
I really liked that thing we did last event where it was like a mass that was known in advance, like this is happening. So you get everyone you can to just join the fucking chambers.
Oh, like
as a
the
first
2
tile?
p.m. Or as a start, or as a special tile? What do you mean?
As
That
a
was-
special as a special tile, like I thought that was very nice, and like you advertised it so like people could like at least get ready to like, even if they can't like participate, they can know that I need to log in at this time and go sit in this chambers for 2 minutes.
Yeah, what was cool is the winner of that comp was literally the team that had the most players online. That's it. Because I think we had 19, and the other team they had like 16. John's team, so they
No,
lost.
I think actually they had more, but they died, whereas we
No,
had no
we had
deaths.
more. I remember.
No, that was
speaking
a
to John.
different team. Uh, yeah, we had less people. We struggled to get people online, unfortunately.
My
Yeah, it's a
team
tough
didn't
one.
even try.
But you know what? It was something that was known, so like captains also need to like
You have
I
to
don't
be
know
pushy on that.
nerf Europeans or some shit.
But the time zone was
True.
fair. 2 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m.
Yeah.
UTC. No, it's 2 p.m. Eastern. 18 o'clock, 6 o'clock for Europe.
The thing that I think would be fun is maybe allowing scales, like that kind of like circumvents the problem. So now it's just literally whatever your team feels comfortable with.
Yeah, that would be cool too.
Yeah, I think my suggestion, I don't know if I ever spoke to Lone about that, was basically if a team had less, they can bring in scales to match whatever the highest team has, like the highest amount of players, so they at least like have that many people, and it's like more fair that way. But I still think it's also fair if your team shows up, you should have that advantage. So
But the problem is if I did it that way, I would have felt bad because then, like you're not doing these comps. Like people would do this
yeah,
comp to win. They wouldn't do the comp for fun, right? So they would just grab like the true 5-6 gamers and do the 6+30 or something, which is not fun for everyone else in the team. That's just like not.
yeah,
doing
no,
it.
I mean, yeah, I think what I was like, what I'm saying is like if a team had 18 people, the other team, if they wanted, could scale
All could
it
scale
up
up to
to 18,
to make it
so
fair.
they can, yeah, to match the amount of players that are in the raid itself.
I will say I'm really not a big fan of Next, but I thought the next thing we had was quite nicely because then if you didn't know, if you weren't like a huge gamer, you could like join a mass, and then like the people who had the proper gear and shit,
Was
like they
suddenly
just went like a
efficient.
smaller scale.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was quite nice. Like we had like 24 people at Next or some shit.
Yeah, that was you guys were bound to get the tile in a couple hours. Like there's so many
Yeah,
people at
that
next.
was fun. That was fun.
But actually, you know what? I
Also,
just forgot too. We can go over the poll section for the comp. I forgot about that section. So
Oh,
I'm
the
gonna
results,
Oh.
huh?
the poll's all been done for a while. So let me open it up.
Oh yeah.
Switch my screen, and let's just go over the results together quickly. So every comp, by the way, just for reference to people listening, we do a poll and we ask certain questions, and then we use that feedback to build onto the next competition. And when we build competitions, we actually review previous polls for ideas and for some information that's difficult to balance. So let's just go over the comp. So overall, most people enjoyed it. You also see my results, and I think I was a little mad when I voted the 4, but still. So vast majority of people strongly agreed that the comp was good. Most people enjoyed the keys concept by a significant margin. The free
Except
empty
still.
tile was like kind of, I guess, still overall good, but not like perfection. I guess it was mixed feelings. And for the future, the reveal a tile idea, people really seem to like that. That's cool. 52 voted strongly agree. For the point system, which we forgot to mention too, you want to talk about that, Ferro? Because that was your idea.
Sorry, I kind of got lost on the in-game chat. What's the
Oh,
Can you repeat that?
You know the point system that we had as an idea, like a bank that you can use to buy shit. Remember?
Bank you can use to
Oh
no.
yeah. Where you can like get like 5 points and you could use that to like skip a tile
Exactly.
or
Like a
like
1
shit like
point
that.
to reveal a tile. So essentially, what we would do is we would have like 3 or 5
Oh
tiles in
yeah,
parallel.
okay.
And if you get those
Yeah.
tiles, they don't count for the comp, but they give you points that you can use to unlock certain things. So imagine it's like Tome of Fire 1 point, Golden Tench 1 point, and Tome of Water 1 point. Well, if you get those tiles, you can get them multiple times. You can get like 10 tomes if you want. Every time you get one, you get a point, and for 1 point you can reveal a tile. For 5 points you can skip a tile, and we can have a re-roll tiles, whatever. There's a lot of options. But the objective of that idea was that if your team is brick walled, like for example you're stuck on Nex, or worse, you're stuck on Nightmare and you don't know how to do Nightmare, well, at least you can still do something else to get points for your team to be able to reveal the next tile or skip a tile or whatnot. So you can still contribute to the team. That was the goal.
A really good concept.
That's true.
It's gonna be fucking brutal to balance, but that's gonna be Ferro's problem. Am I right, Ferro?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, but I like the idea, yeah, because that solves the variety problem that we gotta fix.
And we can also be more like
Yeah.
intense on the tile itself and not have to put too much. Like,
Yeah, maybe like we do something like the first tile skip costs 5, and then the second costs 6, and then you go and increase the cost on repetition,
smart. That's a good idea.
so we can balance that way.
Cool. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
What would our thoughts be on like a tile where it's like you just like nerf a player but they don't know? Like let's say for example, like nerf a non-captain. So like if Shady's on the other team, he's not a captain. I could say, for the next hour, his shit doesn't count. And he doesn't
he
know
doesn't
that.
know?
Well,
No.
He doesn't
I mean,
know. No one knows except that, yeah.
well, Shady gonna
That's
flip
bad.
and quit the competition,
Shady
but
will lose
yeah,
his shit.
any other player would be, I guess. Yeah.
Insert name here.
No,
Yeah,
it's like it's
that's a
funny on
tricky one.
paper, but in practice you're gonna piss off a lot of
Yeah.
like, you're gonna piss off
And
the
then-
other team.
Oh,
if they-
yeah.
Like imagine we're 5 times drowned Warcraft. You use that on Shady. Shady gets the Warcraft towel. Like, dude, you're like the other team is just broken. Like,
What do you mean, man? He likes collected D bolts.
everyone's broken except for Shady in that example. Okay.
Yeah, that's anything that handicaps the other team is kind of risky, I guess. Emo.
Especially
okay,
since
what
it's
if-
all
what if
RNG,
for, like, 5
and then you're
points?
putting a 100% kick.
So we have the 5-point idea for like the skip a tile. What if instead it's 5 points you spend, and then a competition starts on the side, and it's like fastest team to complete a CM now, and then both teams are like shit. They just gear as fast as they can, go do a CM and try to get the completion. The first team to complete a CM in real time. We're not talking about the time in the CM. In real time,
Yeah.
they win.
So first team with Heavy.
Guess.
Basically, first team with Heffy to get a sub 30 solo CM.
Yeah, I guess it works. We could do things like that.
I wouldn't mind like even something like just something with more like chance element into it. Like spend 2 points, 50% chance. Like flip a coin to do
skip a
something,
tile.
for example.
Ah.
Yeah.
Plant a flower.
The flower
And then you gotta
is
pick the
Flower
color.
no. The
roulette,
flower is always
yeah.
the same now because they reversed
Oh, they
gambling.
did?
Yeah.
They
No. The flower's always the same to other people. You just need to live stream.
Really? Is it?
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! You're right. Interesting. So you can still gamble in the game. Let's make a dicing claim. Oh, I'm kidding. Okay. So let's keep going on the poll. So the 2-team concept. I honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I fucking love 2 teams. I think it's the most fun.
Big
When
team's
we have
good.
50 people, yeah, I think it ups the ante in what we can actually do as tiles.
Yeah.
And it also makes it so
Sure.
that like there's more people on Discord in your team, and
That's true. That's true.
it's just like I think it's nicer and also it makes the chance of you winning statistically 50% instead of like 20% if there's 5 teams or whatnot.
Yep.
So I think it's
teams'
worth.
race Discord packed during this last race, like almost the entire event.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I feel like for
so-
races, 2 teams is the best.
yeah. Otherwise, it looks ugly on the board.
Yeah. Maybe 3. We could try it out.
We'd have to like make unique tables or unique boards so that we can have like one sheet for each team. Then you can do how many teams you want.
Nah, we could. We had a 3-team painting pattern. I don't know if you remember.
I don't.
Yeah, I tried it out. It kind of works for 3 teams too, so wouldn't be a problem.
Ah, cool.
But more than 3, it's nah.
So the next one, board length is adequate. People thought so. The problem with the board length is it's basically just completely correlated to the signups. So there's like really no control. So if you want a smaller board, you need less signups or longer event, and
Or more teams. But yeah.
or more teams. I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I don't like it when events go beyond Monday, like beyond the weekend. I think I'm
Yeah, I
not
don't
at the
either.
same stage as I was when I was a DGen in school, and I was like down to
It was different during COVID when realistically a lot of people could work from home.
Definitely, like
Yeah.
when I was home all day for one of those bingos, I pull, and we had like a week-long one. I pulled like 3 all-nighters. I can't do that anymore.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell.
Fucking Pyro.
Yeah, it was.
it's written in temple blood, man, forever.
Oh, I remember Pyro degenerating those bingos. Like, I would go to bed,
Yeah.
wake up, he's still there. Like, what the
Yeah, and you still went to bed earlier than him on the other day.
No joke, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
man, this
Fuck
guy's
that. I'll
cracked.
just stick to waking up at 5 in the morning. Thank you very much.
Hell yeah, my man.
Yeah,
But-
I feel like what weekend long is the best.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
mean, and I think the board length has consistently been good, and every time there was kind of any question, I know it wasn't for everybody, and myself included, where it did extend into Monday, but the flexibility aspect has always worked out.
And just for reference, this race was supposed to finish on Sunday, according to our math. But because Team Red, which is my team, we went giga dry on Vorkath. We went almost 4 or 5
Vorkath.
times dry at Vorkath. And also Team Blue, they went dry at Toa. And on top of that, they ended up backtracking from Toa and going on a different route. So they lost a lot of time. So the comp extended. I think it would have finished on Tuesday if they didn't have that Jagex outage and that burnout too. It would have likely finished on Tuesday, but it should have finished on like the Sunday night or maybe early Monday.
Yeah,
Which
that
is,
was pretty brutal. It's too bad. I mean, I don't know how much balance would go into like a default win, because what did we have, like 15 or no, not that many. We had thousands and
I think we had
thousands of workouts
5,000 Vorkath kills.
5,000 Vorkath, yeah.
1 in
in
1,300.
in like what, a day?
Yeah, in like a day. It was disgusting. That was really bad.
Yeah.
But at
Do-
the
do
same
you have-
time, like it's
The
it's
bolt
bound
stack
to
looking
happen.
healthy
Like,
though.
5 times dry is not even that crazy. It happens.
Do you
And
have
the
my
f-
notes, Jim? That I sent? I'm gonna send you
yes.
again. Hold on.
Let me open them. I remember I saved it on my desktop.
Yeah, because I did
I
a
have it
kind of
here.
a good breakdown on the time per tile per
Wait,
player.
can we finish the poll first and then we go to
Yeah,
that?
oh,
'Cause
we're on the
that's-
poll still.
That's
Fuck.
like this sheet here is like crazy. Okay, so the
Alright,
dragon
go on the
tile.
poll.
So the dragon tile was very mixed feelings. A lot of people were neutral. A few people liked it. A few people really fucking hated it with their lives. And so yeah, I think that one, like we can talk about it later because it's a lot to talk about that one. The speedrun category was still kind of liked. I wasn't able to participate in that one because I was sleeping, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I pushed my team to finish that before you woke up.
Yeah, I woke up
Yeah.
and then you're like, update the board, we got the tile, and I'm like, what? Fuck.
Yeah, I made some notes about that tile, that format. But it's hard to balance that one because if you make the times too hard, you need the best players in the team to complete it, and if they're not online at the time, you're gonna brick wall the team.
Yeah,
But
I'm not a
I
fan.
think that's why our like old idea there of the like, you know, you unlock a tile, boom, you have to do this now, is good because that gives the other team infinite attempts and that limits
Exactly.
your capacity.
And that also puts speedrunning in the comp without actually
Yeah.
being like brick wall. Because even if you're unable to, you just say, okay, we're not gonna do it. We're like, okay, you don't do it.
Yeah, and like not only that, like you can't just have like, okay, solo CM, it's like, okay, go Heffy, go send this, and like no one can do it. Like it has to be like a team element, or like you could like purposely nerf the gear involved, like fastest, I don't know, fucking MSB Jad or some shit.
That's
Yeah, that's more fun too. But and also like it's a lot of RNG involved, so then you can just reset attempts and eventually you'll get lucky and get the time, so
Yeah.
that would be cool.
I feel like when we do speedrun again, it has to be a side path so we don't block people, and it has to be hard so it doesn't feel like a chore. Like the 10 Galvac ones, like the time was too easy.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
time was really easy, but
And it was just a chore at that point. So I feel like it needs to be a side path, like towards a free tile or something. So people don't feel the need to go through it, and then they can wait for the actual gear people to do it, and then can work on other things. Yeah, I know.
cool. Okay, and the next one here is the XP tile. I honestly I was surprised how much I really enjoyed that tile.
Yeah,
I
I
was
wasn't.
all for it, man.
Yeah.
It was a
problem-
nice break.
The problem with the XP tile was you put the golden tinge tile after it. So I got a
Yeah.
golden tinge during the XP tile.
Yeah.
I know
And
that's
then
what,
it didn't
that's why
count.
when you
I
got
was
Yeah.
so
Tinge
tilted.
and
I
you
was
said
so
it to me,
tilted.
dude,
I
I
have
was
problems,
just
man.
laughing, bro. I was laughing so hard that I couldn't say anything.
I
Yeah.
Average.
was so
Yeah.
mad.
The XP was a great idea. I was worried that it would be hard to track it, but it was like so easy with Temple.
Yeah, you just have to make sure everyone has their temple set
Yeah.
up correctly.
And we did make a mistake of like not paying attention to what content we put on.
The one dangerous thing there
But
is like
also just Pyro for
group iron.
reference for you, like just a tangent, like that row was supposed to be skilling row, and we were supposed to have like a PVM row and like a raids row, and then we switched it up a little bit. And I guess
Oh,
we
yeah.
kind of left the arrow fishing and the skilling on the same row, but I guess we should have probably flipped it with like something
True.
else.
Or put a different skills on there so you weren't
Yeah.
doing aerial fishing to be efficient.
Yeah, instead of hunter, we put like mining or some shit because it was like
Yeah.
a no-brainer. Hunter plus fishing, well, arrow fishing it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
Kind of
we're definitely
sidetrack.
redo that. It was a good tile. I liked it. Yeah, go for it, RNG.
What's your thoughts on like the second we saw like the corp tile, we knew exactly what tiles 2 and 3 were. It's like, yep, that one's gonna be next. That one's gonna be like nightmare or some shit.
Oh yeah.
But like, what's about the thoughts of like mixing it up in that regard? So like each row would have still been the same hours, but
Yeah.
just to make it
Back
less.
then, on the very end, like after the doors, we had 3 paths, but you only needed 2, right? So in order for that to be viable, we need to balance them out, and then we just picked like similar content. I guess we just made a very easy pattern to guess. We could mix it up, yeah,
Yeah,
to
it
make
was
it more
very
exciting.
predictable.
Yeah.
Like I remember our team was like, "Oh, dude, this is obviously next. This is obviously nightmare," and I was just like,
Yep,
"Fuck, man!"
same
Like,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it was true. Like for the next event, we'll for sure like do more of a shuffling around content, I guess.
But you also
Yeah,
have to
I will
remember
s-
it's easier for us to balance that way too. So like, it's just I guess like a simplistic way for us to do it. Go for it, Nate. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I will say though, you guys were kind of troll with the Vorkath into Nightmare before the next was revealed. We're like, well, we're doing Vorkath, so obviously Nightmare would be the next would be the one that's coming after, and then it was Nightmare.
Psych.
We're just like, we collected all these D-bolts for nothing.
For nothing. Yeah, it would have made more sense. But like,
Yeah.
we kind of didn't think of that like logically. So that's our bad.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. We focus a lot on making all the paths the same hours to completion on average, so people wouldn't be punished by being unlucky and getting the longest path.
Yeah. Okay. Just to finish the other ones because I want to finish these polls. So raids, Tob Toa, everyone loves it. Not really surprised. I think it's one of the best tiles. The collection log related tiles were kind of mixed, but favoring towards the yes, which is interesting. I thought more people would hate it, but
It mixes it up.
I think it's. I mean, it depends what collection logs. Some of them are really.
It depends on the length of the tile for that one.
Yeah.
Like I think the golden tench was generally well received, except for Pyro because it's a
But it's only because it was like half an hour per player on average to
Yeah,
get
so
the
you just
tile.
bang it out really
yeah,
quick.
like the short ones like that are kind
Yeah.
of like it's a nice break.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the PVM ones, people love it too. So just obviously yes. Okay. So Ferro, do you want it to go over your
The
sheet?
notes, yeah, we can do.
And then we'll
I
go
have
back to
open it up.
the podcast notes after.
I gotta find it. Where is it? Fuck.
How do I have it before you? It's yours.
It's cause I don't remember what I left it.
Do you want me to
Sorry.
send it to you or?
I should. I found it. Okay. All right. So, oh yeah, we had this. This is the first competition where we had the ragging, right? That's my first
Yeah.
note.
Let's not talk about
Yeah.
that. It's not worth it.
Okay. Yeah.
And don't mention names
Next.
when it's negative, by the way, boys, just for
Yeah.
a PSA.
Roger.
Bankable tiles. Yeah.
Bankable tiles. Shilkan when he got that tome of water within
Tome
like
of
2
water,
minutes.
yeah.
Well,
To
that's
be
funny 'cause
fair,
he
he
got
got him
those
in the
on the
comp.
skilling tile. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I remember I was reading you guys' chats and you guys were like, "Oh, I'm gonna do fishing and chase this Temperos," and I was in my head I was just like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
But
but
you know what? I don't mind bankable tiles because and I don't mind some bankable tiles because like one like if you like if I know you're a big clue degenerate, okay, maybe clues are a bad idea, but like I don't know if I know you've been on like a huge like Guardians thing, like that just comes into a factor of like how well you know the person.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it
but
But
yeah.
also
it is
remember
it
like
is just hard to balance the teams. You can get a team handicap by not having like a X bankable.
or you can draft Pyro with 7 million fire making XP banked in crates.
No joke,
Yeah,
dude.
we actually had
You have-
Winter Toad on the path.
Yeah, we removed it
Yeah,
because of
you
you,
took it
Pyro.
off.
We removed it because
Literally just because
Pyro
of
posted
you.
it. Yeah.
The
But
man was
you
like,
know what? Like
dude, the man was holding Winter Todd hostage, man, for the event.
Yeah.
straight up, dude.
What was it on its place? I think it was instead of the Ferro Scepters we
Yeah,
had it.
we
on fire.
separated,
Yeah.
switched it, which I think it was a better tile.
That was
honestly.
fun, by the way. I don't do Pyramid Plunder very often, so when that tile came up and there was like everybody there at once,
I was
that
sleeping, dude. I missed it.
that
I
was one
woke
of the
up and it
most
was
fun
done.
moments.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's more efficient to do it as like a duo because the doors change a lot in a big team. But it still was fun to have. Like, it was good for team mental when we had everyone that we could there,
Mhm.
just doing it,
Yeah.
because it was kind of just like at that point it was just like, all right, let's chill out for a bit and grind this all together where we're all in one place with our fashionscape.
Yeah, there we go. I was like, anytime there's something where you can actually run Fashionscape without it hindering you, that's always a plus.
Cool. All
Yeah,
right,
but I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
go piss, Pharaoh, so you can carry this
okay.
section.
Okay, go piss. But I feel like bankable tiles is just like a no-go because it kind of breaks the balancing of the teams.
Yeah, I'm not a
And
huge fan
yeah.
of bankable as well.
And then
I do
If it
think it
wasn't
is
such a
fine
pain in
though.
the ass to track it for only during the event, it'd be
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
But like, yeah, we have Pyro, so like
right.
anytime something like Winter Talk comes up, there's no chance.
Yeah.
okay,
Winter
okay,
Toad,
fine.
Temperos, like Guardians of the Rift, Clues, like all of those are out of the bingo. Like so.
And the clan itself has gotten way more collection log oriented thanks to
Oh
certain
yeah.
people around
People.
here, I've noticed.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's becoming more contagious. I mean, you have people like me and Fish who have never saved more than one casket in our entire career. Like, hey, I got 5 in there. What's up?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will say though, doing Temperos during the skilling and saving those, I personally think if it's during the competition, it is fine to save them
Totally
just
agree.
in case because like they don't
Yeah,
know
for
it's going to be
sure.
there later. So like
For
if
sure.
they want to save it, I think that's fine. It's
Yeah.
just hard to track. Like
It's
Yep.
we
Yeah, that
talked about
part.
that like a long time ago for tracking bankable tiles, and it's just a bitch because we could just ask people to take a screenshot of like their inventory or their bank and search like crates, but then you could def coffer or suicide to Zoro and hide them in there. Like you could definitely scheme
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think
only
the
that,
obviously,
thing is
if you
though,
do that,
it's
to be honest, like you can fuck off. Like that's actually really rad. Like that's fucking shit.
yeah,
But
I
like
think that's
you
the
could
big
do it, you
thing
know?
that we have. I think that's the big thing we have though is like especially why we don't ask people to pay is it's sort of just like a respect thing and like we kind of trust everyone to be honest with most things. But
Yeah,
like
for
in the
sure.
event of like bankable, it kind of seems like it's best to just avoid it just in general, just even if
Yep.
we believe everyone's going to be honest.
It's just simpler that way.
I
I
agree.
agree with that.
Definitely.
I do, however, really love like some of the bankable content, like Temperos and all that. But
Yeah.
and for clues, we were able to bypass it by making the clue tile being a specific step. So you have to do clues
Yeah, I
to
think
get
the
it.
steps are fine.
The only problem about that is that we fucked up on the first ever event we did that, and we picked like
An easy step.
You picked the wrong step.
We picked Armadillo
Oh.
helmet, but then
Helmet, yeah.
like that's actually
I
an
had that
item.
clue in the bank.
Exactly. But Pyro had it in the bank because he was missing the Arma helm, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get Arma helm eventually, so I'll just save this clue." So the comp started, and he instantly had the tile done. So now I
Yeah,
pick
I remember
I
that.
pick cringe shit like activate
Easy
chivalry or
ones like
cook a
a torso.
swordfish. Yeah, like the easy
Yeah.
Yeah,
ones.
one where there's nothing locked behind it, like a farmer's straw hat or something like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think I like those tiles because I always do my clues during comps just because it's like collectible.
Why not, right?
You
Vlog.
do?
I do, but don't tell the captains.
No one knows. It's totally a secret.
So
You know, on my next sign up, I'll do like I do not do clues. I'll put that
you'll be first pick.
first pick.
But,
What else
anything
here?
else, Ferro?
On my notes, the door key. I think we talked about it a lot. Content variety also. The tile length. I guess I broke it down a bit, but just for on this comp, I think we balanced for 20 hours per player to scale inside a weekend, and I guess it was too much, so we try 15 hours next time.
Well, it was too much because we went dry. Remember, like if we would have
Yeah, but
spooned, we could have finished like on a Saturday night, and then people
I
would have
mean,
been
we
pissed.
spooned
Famous
other
last words.
things, so I guess like it's around 15 to 20 hours per person.
But
Per sign up,
actually,
that
I think
is.
we could do 15 anyways, because that way, if even if the comp
Yeah,
finishes early, I think that's more healthier for everyone.
that's healthier,
So,
exactly, yeah. And then I had like, for example, the Golden Tench, it was 20 minutes per player on average, and people enjoyed it. So I guess even if the tile is annoying, if it's like 20 minutes per player, it's fine. And then the God Wars, for example, it was a 40 minutes per player, or the Raid, which was like 45 minutes per player. And then the Vorkef, it was 60 minutes per player, and you guys went like very dry on it. And I guess it's risky, right?
yeah, but I mean, I think in terms of dryness, like if the boss is fun, like going dry on Zora would have been a lot nicer for
Yeah,
us. But
I
the
guess. But
fact that it was Vorkath into Nightmare, like just
yeah,
I
it was
burnt.
kind of bad.
I'll be honest, I burnt. I went
And
Yeah.
into
Vorkath and Zola are just safer in general because I mean, no matter how like we were all complaining about being dry, but I guarantee anyone that spent any time there walked out with way more dragon bolts and stuff to go do armor or raids or
Oh yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
And
it
same
was
with Zora,
useful.
you walking out with a bunch more scales or supplies or whatever. Whereas Nightmare, you're walking out with bass and sadness, and that's about it.
Yeah, sounds about accurate. Yeah, to be honest with you guys, I don't think I'm gonna put Nightmare on bingos anymore.
Oh.
Just because I feel like that boss is like Jagix's failure, and we should just not promote it.
Yeah. Fasani is amazing. The problem is Fasani is too high of a skill cap and gear cap to be fun.
That
Well,
and
I mean,
then
let's be
it's
honest.
just
You
too
can have
late
the
into
best
the
gear
comp.
and be the best player. It's still not fun.
I
Like,
love it. What do you mean?
I will say I
That
like
is Stockholm
Fasani's.
Dude,
syndrome.
Pharaoh, it's only
I
you
like
that loves it.
Fasani's, but
True.
no, I like it as well. But it's just when I've grinded 25 hours in the comp, I don't want to sit there and grind Fasani's at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah,
It's just like if it's sooner, I feel like it'd be all right. But you can't put a long tile early because then that really does like
that's rough.
brick
Yeah.
wall people.
I agree.
Destroys
True.
the momentum.
Cool.
And what else I have here? So basically, oh, Chaos Alley. Okay. That
Goodness.
armor time should. Oh yeah. What people mentioned, like the last tile should be a one big drop instead of
Yeah, I like that idea a
partial
lot. I think it
drop.
was Trexie that
Yeah, I do
mentioned
too.
it should have been a shadow.
Yeah.
I think that would have been really cool if it was a shadow from Toa. And it would have
True.
made sense too, because we had the Scythe into free tile, we had the Tilo
True.
into free tile, so it would have been cool.
The staff to victory.
Well, instead of even just Shadow, just any Mega Rare.
Yeah, Shadow,
Like,
T-Board,
Yeah.
Scythe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing, our beginning was fun, right? Barrows,
I
group
think
activity.
Barrows was fucking awesome, bro. I love it.
Yeah.
Barrows is always a good start, I think. It gets everyone hyped up.
It was funny because like the comp starts, everyone's like waiting at the chest to open, and then when the comp starts, everyone opens a chest, like 30 chests.
No
and
one gets nothing.
Nobody got anything.
Nothing.
And we're all just like, did we really just get nothing?
Oh god. Yeah. What would you guys think about a Nax start?
That could be cool too, because it's massable. So
Yeah, I was
I agree.
thinking. Yeah.
maybe we could do that for
All,
next
all
one.
I'm thinking is like during the draft, everyone's getting a bunch of fucking like KC.
KC.
Someone gets a 1 KC.
I think
Yeah,
Ferro.
I
I
feel-
think next would be a good idea for starting.
Yeah, I feel like the
Yeah.
start needs to be massable or like groupable.
Yeah, and you only
Like
need
a
to
I love
learn.
the
volcano
fusion
next.
of the Barrows ones too. That's
The
Now-
volcano, I don't
very
like
on
it
top.
first because you can be. I mean, how many people are brick walled from next though? Like they don't have the requirements.
ET2.
Oh,
I mean, in a mass, you just need a rune crossbow, but
But you have to
it
kill
might not
like
be
each
fist
boss.
fun.
Like you have to kill armor once as a requirement. So
yeah.
if you're low level, you
mean-
can't help.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about just the key
The
itself.
key, yeah.
I mean, I guess it's
Okay,
not.
so-
We could have if we have the bank concept, then it's not too big of a deal.
Okay, so what about we start with a trouble brewing game?
Oh my
No.
gosh, dude! Why is
No.
it you that suggests
Castle
this,
Wars.
dude?
And,
Castle
or,
Wars.
or Castle
No,
Wars,
no,
yeah.
Castle
no,
Wars,
no.
yeah.
Dude, how the
And
fuck
then
are you suggesting this, Ferro? What the
Whoever
fuck?
team wins gets like a couple of points or whatever for the.
Castle Wars
Okay.
would be fun.
Castle Wars,
Castle Wars
Barb
would be fun,
Assault, shit
actually.
like that.
Soul Wars.
That's actually cool.
Yeah.
Soul Wars would be
LMS.
kinda cool, too.
No, that's what it is. That's what it is. LMS at the very start.
Yes, let's do it.
Each team picks
I
12
mean-
people, dude. And then the
I
winner.
have been fighting for a Soul Wars team versus team for the longest time, and we still haven't done it because I think it is like the most fair game mode where everyone can participate.
That's
Yeah,
true.
easily.
Because you can still bury bones and all that, so.
Yeah, I guess we could do that like as a starting event or yeah.
It's a good
That would
idea.
be super fun.
If you're listening,
Like and
by the way,
whoever wins, yeah.
feel free to
Whoever
comment
wins
shit.
get a. Oh yeah, for sure. Whoever wins get a small boost or like something.
They get like 2 points or 3 points or something.
Yeah, yeah. On the
On the
A
bank.
free
standing
half a
point.
key.
Or half a key.
Half
That's
a key.
true.
Oh,
We also had an
gosh.
idea. Pharaoh had an idea of having like an Omega key that opens every single door.
Have I?
What?
That was your idea, right? Or
Like-
was it someone else?
Like, how would that
Uh,
work, Pharaoh? I'm curious.
I don't know. It wasn't my idea. So
What? So who am I not giving credit, dude?
No.
Another
What
was it?
person.
Sorry, what was the idea?
It
The
was you
Omega
have an
key?
Omega key that opens any door, so you don't need to get the same key color.
Oh, I think I suggested that like after some type of like a team versus team challenge. Yeah.
That'd be cool because the team versus team challenges are fucking fun. Like
Big time.
holy steel
big time.
bars, dude.
And like everyone's always online during like the drafts. Like so putting shit like that right up front is not an awful idea. And it immediately gets into like a fuck you red team, fuck you blue team type thing.
It gets the
Yeah.
Okay, actually, let's just get it out the way, dude, because this one's gonna. What do you guys think about the final tile?
I think it
who
would have
wants
been
to go
fine if it was
first?
Dragon?
1 of 3 instead of 2 of 3. I think a lot of people would have been more receptive to it. You
We
should
should
also
have
explain what it
definitely-
was.
Okay, just in case you forgot. So the final tile was you have to complete 2 out of 3 of the following: either Dragon Fullhelm from Mythical Dragons, Skeletal Visi from Fossil Wyverns, or the Lump from Rune Dragons, which are respectively 1 in 8,400 for Mythical Dragons, 12,000 for Fossil Wyverns, and 5,000 from Rune Dragons. And if you made the math, it was around 205 hours to complete that tile. So go ahead, RNG.
Yeah, so like I was thinking, I think a lot more people would have been receptive if it was any visage, like people get a choice of the content, or if it was just 1 of 3. I think it was the 2 of them that triggered some folks.
Well, I think some folks were triggered just because it was collection log, and they said, and I quote, "You're lone, you're making the comp purposely to benefit yourself." And I was like, okay.
Fools, we
Imagine.
know that there's always going to be a low Giratus hunted this tile.
the lone agenda, dudes.
The lone
Lone
agenda in
agenda.
these comps.
Yeah.
dude.
I didn't think it was the worst.
Where's the Pharaoh agenda? Farm 100
So,
code
hold on.
plots.
How many of us were
Uh,
on? I know I wasn't on that team. I was a spectator of the pain of that. But how many?
I was on that team.
Pyro, RNG, and Pharaoh.
Because like it looked brutal for someone that had something like it or just didn't. But I see the I saw the, hey, you've grinded the hard to get here. Here's some content where you can literally AFK and do whatever you want with your life in the
I just
meantime.
feel like it
But at the
was
same
very
time,
like I
you're
don't know. I
stuck
don't like.
doing AFK content. You have no other choice.
Yeah, I don't like that the last tile was just like a AFK. I don't know.
Yeah, it was
I
meant to
think
be
that's
like
what
more
kind of
like it was
stemmed the
meant to be
word.
more of a troll and like a chill vibe. But I guess some people just would have preferred to have something more high APM or more intense.
Yeah,
I think the biggest problem was like when you factored in like if it's like 40 people, it's fine, but it's a lance requirement, which immediately downgraded it to like 15 people.
Well,
Some
lance
people-
requirement except for false iron wyverns, you can do that without a lance.
Some people said like we went from a hype next mass into AFK for like 2 days. Shit,
Yeah.
So the contrast was too big.
Well, I mean,
yeah. If it had,
I'm
if it
not
had been
gonna ever do
backwards,
that
it
again. By
probably
the way,
would've
boys,
been.
just so you know, I'm not gonna put any tile like that anymore because obviously it was
Aw.
like
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest, I literally turned off the CC for 2 days straight and blocked a couple people on Discord because it was just not pleasant. I was getting flamed by
I believe
several
it.
Yeah.
people. They were insulting me. They were calling me names. And after
Dude.
spending 10 hours doing this comp and several hours on previous comps, I just CBA, dude. I don't want to deal with this. I'm not paid to make these comps. I'm not paid to deal with this. Just
Yeah.
don't bother me.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
come on.
only
That ain't-
acceptable to
that's-
flame Jimrat for being French. That's the only
That's
acceptable.
the only
Yeah.
acceptable insult. I agree.
Yeah,
I
if
will
you-
And then
say,
I came back after and I was like, okay, and I was honestly about to say fuck doing events. I was gonna say I'm done making events. I'll have someone else lead, but I'm okay now. Everything's better. I did 300 TOAs and now I'm
Right.
free.
I'm sorry.
I've
That
inserted
is
myself in the Stockholm
therapeutic to
syndrome, and
you.
we're okay.
Yeah.
Lone, I will say though, as the team that wasn't on it yet, our team was really hyped to see it, just because we knew like we had a chance. Obviously, it's not the most
Yeah.
fun tile, but we were just like, okay, so this is something that people could go dry on. We have a chance. We shouldn't give up now.
Yeah, because
Which
if they
was
went
good
4x
for team
dry on that,
mental.
we could have won easily.
We could, yeah. There was still a chance, but that was it. Just pipe dreams, which
Yeah, it's
gave
like,
us hope, but it kind of just completely demoralized all the guys that were doing it.
Yeah,
Even
big time.
worse.
yeah. Like the dragon tile was one too long, so 200 hours for a tile. I think like the second longest was Scorp
Yeah,
at
well, 100
100.
hours.
And then it was also AFK, and at the end, so it was like the
But there's no way we
opposite
could have
of
had that
hype.
at the start. Like near this, that would have been too rough.
Yeah, but like so it should have been shorter and it should have been better placed in the
Or it should have been open right from the very start. So like if you're ever unsure what to do or you want to
You can
chill,
always
Yeah,
do
go
that.
kill some buffalo
I
wyverns.
yeah,
see.
that's what I mean by
That
misplaced.
would be
Like
cool.
if it shouldn't be at the end where it's the most hyped content, or should be at least. So
Like
it
a free
was
tile on the side to
because
AFK kind of thing.
as like I said, like the Golden Tench is just as weird and collection loggy and boring, but it was 20 minutes per player. The Mythical Dragons was 240 minutes per player. Like-
And I think one of the big issues as well is like some people are saying, this doesn't benefit my account. At least with like the Golden Tench, like even though even if it was longer, it's still experience.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like that argument is flawed in my opinion.
I mean, to be fair,
people-
I went to Rune Dragons and just profited the ever living.
I mean,
fuck.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like how much does Barrows benefit people's account at this point?
I
How
don't
much
know.
does a lot of content like people
I mean,
are
I
using
really
the
need
content.
Carol.
I
'Cause
mean,
I'm never
you're
gonna
doing
go do
comps
fucking
not to
Sorry.
benefit your account. You're doing comps because
Yeah.
it's fun.
If you
If
wanted
you want
to
to
benefit
benefit
your
your
account,
account-
you wouldn't be playing at all.
Yeah, you'd be like Brown Chain, just do CMs and not
Yeah,
sign
exactly.
up. Like, because that's actually benefiting his account a lot more than playing.
Yeah.
That's true. That's another good point.
Big advocate for the fun side of everything on this.
I mean, it's like a mixture of several things. Like people were really like the comps are always toxic and competitive, and it was just getting the tension was getting higher and higher. The tile was long. The other team, our team was giga dry. The other team was giga dry on certain tiles, so it's just everything blasted on that point.
I also think it was a lot of like it was escalation of the current problems and situations for the race.
Yeah,
Sure.
there was another issue too that A lot of people are
Yeah.
pissed off about it. It's just not talk about that issue. It's not worth
Yeah.
I agree. But yeah,
And,
a
like,
lot of it was just it was
a
everybody's
build-up.
pot boiled over. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like if any of those one things had happened separate from each other, none of it would have even really
Oh
been
my
more of a
fuck!
snap.
What the
fuck.
fuck, Fulgore, dude?
Hey, Fulgore, attaboy.
Bro, that's
Yeah,
such
but,
a
like-
sick item, dude.
Oh, Fulgore, by the way, huge gamer. He got like billion tiles.
Hey,
No
you know how many
joke.
tiles I've gotten?
0.
Is that RNG?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I really didn't think Lone deserved all the hate.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I did.
not at
I mean,
all.
Lone, I did message you, even though you're like,
Yeah,
I'm
several
okay.
people
I did
did,
message you
yeah.
and said, because no one deserves that at the end
I
of
mean-
the days.
Yeah, the tile wasn't as bad as people made. But yeah, it had its problems, but the reaction was greatly overreacted by the current problems of the competition.
And it was
It's
the first
okay, we
try, so
know.
it was kind of intended to be a pilot thing, wasn't it? For that specific amount of grindiness towards the
Well,
end.
this
of
is the
something.
longest comp in terms of hours we've ever done.
Yeah,
And it was
Well,
supposed
kinda-
to be a weekend, just because we also had 100 signups. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah, we had
And we
everyone
had
and their
like
mother sign up.
120 signups the event before too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was insane.
It was also something like we needed more hours in the board, and we were like almost out of things to put there. You know?
Out
We've
of, like,
actually
good
done
things.
everything already.
Yeah. So we just put something long at the end. You know?
Yeah,
We kind
What
of.
you got to do?
Yeah.
But yeah,
We were
King Shadow
expecting-
should have been that tile. We would have still had drama, but it wouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah, and with TOA so new, it would have been a great segue into getting a lot of people that even now are still looking for learner help.
That it
So-
would have been great, dude. Like the whole
That
team
would've
just
been
sending
pog.
Toas, like 8-mans and duos and all that.
Yeah.
Would have been cool.
So those
Yeah,
are
that's true.
those are fun. I stick to low and solo teams, but I've got thanks to that, I did get to experience 8-mans, and gosh, they are so fun, and they're full of memes, as we all know and enjoy, some more than others. And that just made it even better content. And I mean, coming next year with all of the summit stuff that's being brought out, who knows what the meta is going to be for doing these raids, come the next race. And, maybe we'll have a new prayer or something from DT, who knows? That's a whole nother can of worms, but that'll just bring it down to TOA still being the newest, or maybe by then some people, myself included, might actually take up going to Tobe, because I just don't find an interest in it, even though I know I have the greatest resources around me to get into it. It's just not my thing. But Toa is, and it's more accessible and easier to pick up, but all that can change at the end. So having something like a Giga Rare that incentivizes people like me or Dilf, who's still trying to learn TOA now, to jump in and do these raids, just because the whole team's there, every resource you could have, and no one's going to fault you for every little mistake you make, because it's just a fun bingo event. We're not like out here speed timing or anything like that.
Good points.
So here's not to like detract from like the final tile, but here's like a tile that we expired it, and it could probably come back now, the dragon pickaxe, because now you realistically want 2 of them, and it's
Why?
easier to farm the wildy bosses, and they're getting
I want
reworked.
4. I want
Well,
4
it depends on the
pickaxes.
rework. Like, it'll depend on what the rework looks like.
Wait,
But,
can people educate me on why we went to?
because you put
Toa.
one
So
in
you don't have to
Toa.
constantly pick it up from Toa.
Yeah, it's annoying. I literally just
Oh.
Because we have
if I
multiple
wasn't doing
picks,
solos,
Ferro,
I
you
just
don't-
use rune pickaxe.
Ferro, it's because we can't
Oh.
relate because we have multiple pickaxes.
It's because I grinded the rings, so
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
But some people, every time they want to go mining, they have to go get their pickaxe from Toa.
Inside Toa.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Right. That's yeah.
Rune pickaxe at Toa gain for life.
Yeah.
I am super excited about that rework. I can't wait to see what it does.
So here's the worst part. You're an iron, so you're gonna have to sit there for fucking 2 months while the normies get their fun out of it. Then you
It
can get
What's
farm.
depends on
No.
how it works. They said irons could participate, but we
They are reworking the wildy bosses now?
yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
they've
gonna,
said that for 2 years now, but eventually.
But and they're also
The-
adding new items from the bosses, and it's gonna be in multi. So
Oh, it
It-
means
it-
more
so-
collection
no.
logs.
yeah,
hold
it
on,
does.
Call. Before you jump on the multi, there's gonna be
A single version.
there's gonna be a solo instanced version that'll have slightly worse rates, that'll be safer to grind out than the
Mhm.
multi one, so that anybody that wants to get the logs and stuff doesn't have to go risk and multi, and they can
Dude,
take
thank
better
fuck,
gear.
bro. Otherwise, I
Yeah,
wouldn't touch
yeah.
it.
Yeah, no. Like
I
that's
would
why
just pay for protection. Yeah.
that's why I'm so hyped for it, because they Mod Goblin's kind of heading this, and I don't know how much you guys pay attention, but that dude, he's
Yeah,
a
he's a
demon,
Chad.
man.
he does a
He
good
is a
job. He's
Chad,
good.
and he's kind of headlining the Wilderness expansion. So I have nothing but high hopes for what's to come, as someone who only did PvP before he started the Iron Man life, and now enjoys both aspects of it. I'm so excited to see what happens, because I
Nice.
feel like it's going to get a lot of us out into the wilderness. And yeah, you go out there to get to that instance, but on your way you might see something that hey, I noticed nobody's there the 50 times I've run past that. I've kind of always wanted to go check that out. Now I might be more interested in doing that, knowing, because I've actually been out here, whereas I usually wouldn't have, that that's a possibility for me and feasible without too much risk. And it goes both ways and ping pongs very well. So big hype.
It's
Big
nice.
hype.
Yeah. We always got to be careful on putting wildy content on the races because of the weekend and all.
Yeah, we
But
haven't,
yeah.
except for like the demi bosses. Usually we don't
Yeah.
for a while.
The Rev Totem one was kind of cool, and I know a lot of people made a
Yeah.
buttload of money from that.
Yeah, the
I
Rev
mean,
one was cool too.
we always had that precaution because of hardcores and UIMs, but I don't think
That's
we have.
understandable.
I don't think we need to be that much careful with bigger teams and all.
Yeah, it's not a big, as much of a factor.
I guess we can put more wildy shit now. I
I'd still
think.
rather have revs than the bosses. I feel like at least with
Yeah,
revs,
I would
it's
personally
easier.
rather have revs. Yeah. And like most people can do them, even if you're like level fucking 20. And oh my god, the weapon nerfs.
One thing that John
I-
mentioned that was funny, he said in one of his bingos, he had a rev tile that was, you had to get a drop, a unique, but specifically from the imps. So you had to kill the imps.
Oh
Dude,
god.
What the
That's
fuck?
mean.
But if you
Have a
think,
gander at their imp
no, but if
drop
you think
rates,
about it,
Spider.
dude,
They're mean.
you can be like a level 10 or something, and you can still like actually help a lot because it's like just.
Isn't
10
it
HP
like
imps.
50,000 imps?
Well, it's any unique.
That's
so
if you're.
It's probably
that's
like
if you're scold.
it's probably like 3. It's not weapon, dude. Relax. It's like anything. Like
Oh,
So I think it's like 3,000 imps or 4,000 imps, which is still kind of bad, but it's not as.
oh yeah, that
it's,
takes a minute.
and it's
I
imps,
have never
dude.
done revs.
Well, you're talking about low levels, and I just kind of made a fun account and went there, and I don't want to tell you how long it took me to kill 500 of those guys with Fire Strike.
I don't know. It's like a interesting idea, but I think a lot of people might be pissed off because that's kind of dumb. It's like a stupid restriction.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
a funny meme idea. Poor John.
Like as a
Other-
free tile thing.
All the restriction ones they are annoying to enforce, I guess.
I mean, yeah, you could kill like a demon and then run over to an imp and pretend like you killed the imp.
Yeah, it's just bad to track, you know.
But at that point, like they could use the Runelight tracker if we don't trust someone.
Yeah.
But like usually I haven't had any issues with trust in all the events.
Oh yeah,
so.
we never like doubted anyone, especially now with the
The
broadcasting
broadcasts.
of the items.
The broadcasts have been a
so
lovely
simple.
addition.
Yeah.
Because by the way,
I'll
like it's really easy to fake screenshots. Like in solitary,
yeah.
they were super strict on how you took your screenshots. Because if like you had any knowledge of programming, you could literally fake white chest look like a T-bow, and you can like in the Runelight code, you can fuck around. It's open source. So.
But the nice part is that like at least most people are in the Discord, so
Yeah, you
like
see it
we've had a
live.
couple times where it's like the screenshot or something else is like very fishy, but it's like 10 people just saw him do it. So
Oh yeah,
we can,
yeah.
No issues. Cool. I'm gonna go back
I'm
to the
calling
topics.
a Ferro tool seed.
We have a lot of we're still like almost a little bit after halfway actually. So, what are your favorite moments and least favorite moments of the race?
Oh god.
I mean, getting the 2000 back to back was fucking lovely.
You mean
I really like
next
the
into tone?
Barrow starts. The next
when
into tone, but
when
I
the
really like the
shill
Barrow
one tick the
starts.
toe.
That was fucking
very-
Our team was fucking broken on Discord, dude, when that happened.
I
But like,
I will say,
the shit like necks and stuff too. Like, I think the best tiles are the ones that just get like a shit ton of people together.
Yeah, the next was fun.
What were you saying,
yeah,
Nate?
a lot of the time, like, everybody I feel like I talk to, they really love when their team is like spending more time being the one to get it. Like a lot of people, why they like the races, they love the hype that they always get from their team when they get an item, right? So you're every time you get an item, it's like it could be a meta item. Like you go to Sire and you get a bludgeon piece, but you already have a bludgeon, so like you would never care about that on your own. But like getting that item so your team can go on is always like the most hype feeling because everyone is just like, holy shit, thank you, we can move on. That's always like hype no matter what.
Yeah.
Instructions unclear. How get item?
Yeah. It makes a lot of
RNG.
content that you don't care about a lot more fun. So like that's always my favorite. Is just like I would never do certain bosses, but because it's bingo, it's like I have fun doing this content.
Big agree. Big agree.
Ferro, was yours?
Mine one's a little bit different because when I was designing this race, I wanted to give a little bit of strategy to it, and you know, macro playing the board. And once the keys got revealed, um, my team went like and started to strategize and try to understand. Oh, this should be a key is probably a door and whatever. So people solving the problem was
Yeah, that
hearing
was
two people solve the problem was like very unique to me. It was very very cool.
bro. I
That
remember. I remember
yeah
when you guys got that. I joined your channel, and then your team was talking, and they're like, "Oh, dude, it's a door. It's a mechanic like this."
yeah
And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, "Fuck, my team isn't doing that. Like, goddamn it, team."
yeah like it was very very rewarding. Like listening to people strategizing, and I was
So
able to
I literally ran
push
back
and
to
accomplish
my
like that.
channel, and I'm like, guys, like, what do you think about what we just know? What information? What think, guys? Talk. Don't just do with the tiles. Like, fuck.
Just trying to fucking prompt them.
I was trying to make
Yeah,
them like at least reflect. Like,
and
Turn on brain.
I was like I was on I was quiet like for the whole fucking thing. I wasn't saying anything at all about the strategy and all. But yeah, listening to people solve the problem was my favorite moment. And the worst part is that I couldn't try and solve it myself because I knew the
yeah.
answer. But yeah,
I was just like just chilling
yeah,
at it too, and it was kind of cool. Like when people would say shit out, and then we were just like, oh, and then I would say like, do you guys want to do that? What's the call? Like yes or no? Who
yeah, it
votes
was
yes?
yep, it was the best for me. Like just people solving it and
What
like
was it also
seeing
the
that.
worst when we went down the wrong way?
Yeah. Oh, dude. People full sending that DK style. I was like, I knew it wasn't the key. It was die inside. Uh, and I did not remember the colors. Uh,
At least it
we
was
did
that,
like
yeah. Because we
we
did it a
said
long
that.
time ago.
Yeah, we did a month prior and then just blacked them out. So I actually could not see which. I couldn't remember which color was which path had which color. It's pretty fun.
All right, Pyro, what was your favorite part? And for your least favorite part, we already know the answer. It's the golden tench, but sorry.
Poor Pyro.
Deserved.
Probably like completely green logging worms.
Oh my
Fuck.
fucking
Oh yeah.
spoonage.
Oh yeah, you kept getting drops, did you?
Yeah, I got like all the drop.
God damn.
I got 2D swords. I was so tilted.
Game's too easy.
That was Ozzy.
Anyone else? I'll go last if there's no one else.
Let's see. The favorite would I guess the favorite spot would be in I just like the raid tiles. It's fun to get into a raid with people you don't usually raid with, and that's always my favorite takeaway is I have a couple new friends that have been on my friends list that I may have not ever actually messaged just because I add everybody. I'm one of those people. And then from bingo to race, it's like, hey, now I'm doing chambers with these three people I've never raided with, but I've talked to for a year. Hey, now I'm doing 2OA with two people that just joined the clan and three other people that I've never raided with. That's always the favorite part of the events for me.
Hell yeah, same.
Nice.
I think my favorite part was when I woke up at 4:30 in the morning on Saturday, and I sent CMs with all the lads that were still gaming and haven't slept yet, and then they went to bed. And then other gamers woke up, so I started CMing with them, and I did 9 CMs in a row, and then we finally got the kit for the tile, and I was like, fuck. It was such a relief.
Freedom!
Like, I was like, oh, dude, we finally... And I was so proud of myself, because I, like, fucking degen so, like, hard. We were sending, like, 5-mans and 7-man CMs. It was pretty fun. And also, when, like, the other team got the nothing tile and I joined their Discord, that was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And
That
also
that
the
that
other
was
one too is
broke shill.
when they got a key and I joined their Discord and they were strategizing, like, and me and Ferro were just sitting there listening. It was pretty
Yeah,
fun.
just having the time of my life, like listening to people strategizing. That was so
And
much
I was
fun.
honestly really impressed with John. Like, he was like, his strategy was like spot on, and I was just like, fuck.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. Dude, John is a demon, dude. He killed 1,000 Mythical Dragons, dude.
Wow.
Like overnight. The dude just grinds regardless of content.
And he's good at strategizing too. So
Yeah.
cool. So I'll move on to the next one. So for the captains, what were your thoughts on not knowing the board prior to draft and playing? So I'm asking RNG and Nate. So who wants to go first?
Wait, I wasn't the captain for the race.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Oh fuck, you were. I thought you were, but okay. Well,
I was
Nate, you
captain
go.
the event before.
Well, considering this was my first ever like draft in general, being a captain, not really sure what it was like before. But like I said, what our strategy became with drafting, me and the other captains that were on my team, uh, we purely just went off of time that people were committing, just because we figured if we have more hours than the other team, we could win just based off of that. The only other strategy that we had with not knowing was we requested day one everyone try to be on, because that was just how we figured you'd build the most momentum. Was if you get the furthest on day one, it opens up a lot for people to do in general. So that was just kind of our strat as well, was just like everyone full send day one, and then if you aren't able to play the rest, that's fine, because we've progressed enough that, or hoping that we had progressed enough at that point that it shouldn't matter as much. I guess if we knew the tiles, it might have changed the draft a little bit. Like the early draft probably would have been the same on just picking Giga Gamers, but like it might have, like our middle tier picks might have changed a little more based on like gear and stuff that we knew people had for specific content, is the only thing I could see being different.
Cool. Anyone, you can still talk if even if you weren't a captain, because I guess, no, not because it's different, because you always never have knowledge, but as a captain, you used to always have knowledge of the board. Even the races, we
Yeah.
used to leak it to the captains. So
I
this is
think
the
the
first
one-
time no one knew.
I think the one tile reveal is always a solid one. As someone who loves the races as a participant mainly, not knowing is honestly half the fun.
The
Yeah.
first
I
tile
would love-
reveal is always fine, because it's going to be revealed anyways at the start. So
Yeah. I would like to compete in a race that I don't know at the board.
But Pharaoh, I need you for the flowcharts.
Yeah.
Can we? What if we hire someone from the outside to make our board?
Holy shit.
Or
So
Ferro
then
could
everyone knows nothing.
No,
Ferro
you
could
guys,
make the
you-
board
you're,
and
you're
you
thinking
can
too
game
too
that.
complex here.
Yeah,
Just get Pharaoh fucking shit faced.
and
then
make
make
the
him do it.
board and you forget.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I really think if we could just like, if we could get our ideas on how we want it, and like time wise, to someone that would be willing, like if we even have to pay them some GP in game, like or whatever, like I feel like that would be a good way to include the people that are making the board, so they are also feeling surprised.
Okay, I have another idea. It's gonna be, hear me out. We plan the board in advance, but the tiles, and we numerate the tiles. So we create 25 tiles, and we numerate them 1 to 25. So imagine tile number 1 is Zora, tile number 2 is, and it's random, right? And then we create a flowchart, but we leave everything blank, and then we random number generator a number in each tile and hide it so no one knows, and then we commit to that board. So there's no knowledge to nobody because it's random, but we have knowledge of what tiles are there. We just don't know the order.
I guess, but then we
But-
risk running into like a
Some weird champ shit.
bad
yeah.
design. Yeah.
It 100% bad design and incorrect balancing. It will happen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing Vorkath followed by Nightmare, followed by
Yeah.
Followed by Corb.
I mean, I guess there's no way around it. Someone has to do it.
Yeah, someone has
So
to
far, it has
sacrifice.
been me, but yeah.
I mean, why can't you just like make a design and then say, okay, someone else fill the tiles now?
Yeah, we could do that.
I mean, we can always just copy paste the same concept, the same board, and just like change the.
Oh yeah, and it's easier than it looks to make it. It's so simple actually.
That was our third race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even potentially like for like the race 4 or 5 or 6. Fuck it, it's one of the old races with some minor like quality of life tweaks or things like updates to things we didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I had an idea for a race where there's like a tile when you unlock it, it's like a wormhole, and you jump in, and then it's like a completely new spreadsheet, and you land on this spreadsheet, and it's another like couple tiles in a small race, and the reward is like 2 free tiles or something.
Okay, but how high were you
Isn't
when you
that-
thought this?
Isn't that from
Dude,
Mario?
always.
Like the Star Worlds?
Is that what it is basically?
I'm pretty sure you just described the Star Worlds from Super Mario on Super Nintendo.
Hell yeah, dude, we copy pasted that.
I would be all for that personally.
Yeah.
But okay, the next one. Thoughts on strategy involved. This comp, I think, was like the one where there was the most strategy
Lots
involved.
of strategy. The only bad part about it was the strategy was to not do the left side of the board.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sucked.
I was really curious what was back there.
Yeah, that's true. That kind of sucked. But we had plans to alleviate that in the future.
Yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
as far as the strategy went, I gotta say, even though this one got a little out of hand at points, it had some of the best strategies I've seen in our bingo/race events. It came at a little sacrifice to certain aspects, but overall, it was really cool to see that many more people so gung ho on it. Because yeah, winning is cool. You got bragging rights for the quarter, which was really what we all fight for in the end. But so it was really cool that over time, as people have been doing these now, instead of the first hour, like, hey, so this sounds good, right? It's like broken down, like, okay, for the first 20 minutes, 80% of us are bashing on this. Once we leak it, the actual 20, like that stuff was really cool to see in this race. So, and I feel like the level just keeps increasing, and in turn, you end up having a little bit of elitism that comes with it. But there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. It all fits into the pile of team competitiveness and everything.
I think like the races, what differentiates it from other like just big bingos is it is like strategy. Whereas before, the most strategy again, most bingos is no one do the top row because we're not going to get that row.
Pretty much, right?
I mean, I'm not a fan of bingos for that reason, by the way. I'd much rather have events like this. Bingos is just
I really want to.
random,
I really want to try the battleship bingo that I
yeah,
thought.
we'll get there. It's on the top.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for that one too. Okay, let's start going faster then, because Ferro's too excited. Next question: Discord activity and CC ranks. I think CC ranks are like the biggest fucking addition we've done. So for context, if you haven't watched some of my videos, we would change the CC ranks to people that are participating to like a red icon or a blue icon depending on their team. So you could see in the CC people talking with icons.
Yeah, that plus the announcements has like really made them better.
So
Yeah.
much better, dude.
I
You
mean,
remember
at this
like
point, we have
before
so
the clan update, it was basically like silence, and then you'd see one person spam their keyboard.
Yep.
And then it's like,
and
"What'd
then
you
everyone
get?
else would spam.
Yeah.
That's like the old times, dude.
And it's made it a lot easier for the staff to track, I imagine, because
Oh,
now you
yeah.
don't have to really worry. Because I remember when I joined the screenshot criteria for my first bingo, I was like, Jesus, I'm like, dude, I'm level 80. I don't know what I'm doing. Sure, okay, I'll get this detailed screenshot. You want my bank card while I'm at it? And
Your
now it's
bank
just
pin.
like, now it's just like, you see the notification, like you said earlier. Oh, well, there's 4 teammates right there. So do you really need the shot? Like, we got it, but do you really need it? And it's turned into much more relaxed atmosphere as far as,
It's
oh,
really
you
good
didn't
for
actually get that.
AFK tiles too, because you can just be like, "Hey guys, I'm AFK. If you see this, screenshot it for me. Thank you."
Yeah.
Cruel herons. That happened several times too. I feel like during that last race.
Yeah. And the screenshot is nice to just keep track of it, but like it does not need to be as a
Yeah, I have something to present about that.
It's not
so-
like a
Yeah.
make or break anymore, whereas before it was
Exactly.
no tile,
Yeah.
no screenshot, no grats, you know?
Mm.
All right, next one. Any other topics or ideas you want to discuss about this event before we move on to the next topic?
I know this is far in the future, but I hope someday we can have more wilderness / PvP oriented things, depending on how JGX grows our beautiful game, because I
We
think
had
they'd be a lot
LMS
of
a
fun.
couple times in the past. That was always fun.
It's just nice to
But,
see. Every time I see even a sliver of it, I get excited. So it's cool to see that it's slowly being incorporated, and I'm super excited for future events and the potential of bringing some more of that in slowly.
So like
We are
you
iron.
have a tile where you have to PK an actual PK on your iron. Like that would be funny.
I mean, yeah, and it's really not hard. You can do it with the rune crossbow and vengeance. That's it. That's all you need.
That would be kind of funny
Like,
too, just to meme the PKers and then we flame them for like
like I know a lot of us, myself included, have spent a lot of time at Revs due to everything else going on, and it's been little empty. And you know, you're there, you get bored, you start attacking people, and once they realize you're an iron, the salt is just amusing. It's so there's nothing worse than dying and getting hit with a good fight, and you see that helmet there, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, our events, I think we're getting to the point where most of our events are actually getting pretty fine-tuned because we've been doing this for a long time now. So like
Yeah.
I think every event, like it's so hard to one up the last event, like last like race and stuff. Like there are different things that we've been doing which are a lot of fun. But like I think that through the experience of the people creating the boards, they've become experienced enough that like almost every single one is always a hit. There's never really a miss on how good they are.
and just for background information, we've done 11 official comp events, not including the raffles, that doesn't count, or the skilling comps. And the first one was almost exactly 2 years ago. It's been 2 years we're
Heck
doing
yeah.
bingos, which is crazy.
That's nuts.
So we're averaging like an event every 2 months.
Oh, that means I must have joined like right before you guys started making events a normal thing. Lucky me.
Yeah, and
Good
I
timing.
will also say I've been in almost every single one of our events, and I've never won a single one, but I still love them.
Wait,
Right?
really? Have you
I-
not? Let me check.
I've never won an event.
I
Yeah,
peeked
I
that very
took a look at that. I
impressive
thought it was
board and
just
I saw
fish.
my win percentage and I was like, 33%, we take that.
Nate, 0 wins, 7 losses. Poor
Nate, like
Nate.
easy last pick now.
The anchor.
I've always worn that badge proudly. I've always said I've never won. This will be the one and I'm always like that's why I love like our events too because I'm really I really am like ADD ADHD on stuff. So like hopping around has always been like a lot of fun and being told what to do. Because if I had to just decide, I would probably just go do raids and that's about it. So I really love the aspect of just jumping around. I know it sucks for certain accounts like Ultimate Irons, but I love content hopping like that.
Yeah, me too. It's nice, change your pace to the like continuous grind you're doing on your account.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, I wouldn't be doing Volcano.
What?
Volcano was
Take
fun
that
actually.
back. dude.
We like
This is
made our
actually
own CCs and shit. It's
this
like,
is
okay,
actually
join.
giga fun. I mean, it's telling
Dude,
Glenn
the
right
loot is
before we all
cracked,
started.
man.
I've never really done Volcano, so I've been enjoying this while we've been talking.
Okay, so Nate has 1-0.
Wait, we'll get to that
Lost
after.
7.
You're spoiling it, dude. It's
Okay.
after. We'll do it right before we talk about future events. So the last here is compared to the race V2 and V3 and V1 V2. How do you think V3 was in comparison? Was it the best one, or is it not the best one? Which one was your favorite? So on.
I think I like the first one. Maybe it's just because it was new,
Yeah, it
new.
was so simple, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
first one is really fun too. I'll give it that. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, like I said, they have all been fun. I really did like the switch up though of like something different where we had keys and doors.
Yeah, that was neat too.
Like I do think little tweaks like that are definitely like a change of pace in how it goes. Some people obviously the no tile was a bummer for the team when they got it, but it was the funniest thing when our team saw it, which
Oh,
we were all
dude,
dying laughing when we
that was
read that.
Yeah,
that was the best part.
it was
Hands down.
funny. Cool. So next year is what we like to see in the race V4. I think that's already been covered basically because like during the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
podcast, so I don't think we should talk about that. Bingo during a leagues. What do you think about that?
Yes, please. That could. I'm biased on this because I don't. You may or may not know. I've done every league without fail and gone decently hard.
I know
And
like it was proposed to me in the past for the second one, I think, but I don't play leagues, so like I wouldn't be able to
so have
host
you
it.
anyone that's played Dead Man mode or any of the leagues is well aware of the boosted rates and in leagues there's boosted drop chance to a degree once you've progressed. So yes, you can rush and get to the same content as someone that took slightly longer, but now you've shot yourself in the foot. So it adds little aspects like that when you're thinking of making a bingo board on it. But it'd be very feasible and it would completely eliminate the oh, my account's not good enough, I don't have this, because it would start everyone at the same thing. But that is the downside, is everyone's going to start at nothing. So it might be a little harder to get a big group of people to be able to commit to that. Otherwise, heck yeah, that could be so much fun, and you could fully enable PvP things in that because everyone's an Iron Man.
Yeah,
There's not
there's no
people.
everything's fair game.
There's like 10 people out there doing content videos of PKing, and that's it. And honestly, you'll probably kill them more than they'll kill you.
And all like I mean I guess what we would have to do is when Leagues 4 drops, which I honestly expected it was going to be released or revealed during the summit, but I'm surprised it
I think
wasn't.
they said it's gonna be fourth quarter next year if they.
And it's just going to
Okay.
be one of the old leagues.
It's just gonna be kind of repacked, but with all the feedback, kind of like
Kind
y'all
of like
do
the race
with our.
before.
Exactly. They're essentially doing that for League 4. They're not, I don't think they're going to make a whole brand new concept, but now they'll be able to involve some of the stuff that's been released since, like Giants Foundry, TOA, et cetera, all the new gear and stuff like that. So there'll still be new stuff, but it'll be built on the same foundation, because a lot of people after playing Trailblazer and the last one were like, well, now I wish I would have played Twisted League, but I didn't because it was new and I wasn't sure how fun it would actually be. And honestly, the
This
first one
league was not very good, honestly.
the first one was a shit show because we had never done it. I don't.
Um,
The Sarah Doman waiting line for that wizard was savage before they fixed it and stupid things like that.
oh,
But
for the clues, yeah.
as they've gotten through, and yeah, dude, I was in line. I was in line. I had no shame, but it's none of that happens anymore. Now there's dual spawns for clues, so that gets eliminated, and a lot of the just annoying waiting your turn thing for the lesser demon in the wizard tower that's gone. So it would be if we were to do it now, we're at a much better sitting point as far as what content availability is out there. And there's a lot of YouTube videos of people that did league stuff to, for those that didn't, to be able to get an idea of, hey, there's a lot of this aspect, I'm seeing a lot of consistencies between these creators. So it would be something that even people that hadn't been in one would have the ability to like research some of the techniques and everything that Solo Mission did or something like that.
I guess we would have to
Well,
see how many people play Leagues 4, and if like for
Yeah.
example the majority of the CC plays, then we can definitely do it. But if not a lot of
I-
people
I
play,
mean-
then
It would be a longer event too, I guess.
yeah, or maybe shorter
Like-
because it's
like-
enhanced drop rates.
No, but we would like on League's release.
Oh, like on the release. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
like I was
crack.
gonna say, like why not just open it up and say like, hey guys, we're
Yeah.
doing a bingo during leagues, and it's gonna start like 3 days after once we figure out what the fuck's going on.
That would be cool too. And yeah,
Yeah.
that would be interesting. If we have enough signups, and sure, it would be hard to make a board before though. Like you'd have to
Yeah,
like
I don't
that-
think though. Like, you just put
kinda-
normal shit.
you'd,
I
you'd kind
guess.
of have to put everyone on like a roughly same timer start too, because I mean, 1 hour is the difference between a lot of content at the beginning of any league. So that aspect might be a little hard to iron out. It wouldn't be a matter of who's playing, or it's who's willing to wait till a specific time in a group and everybody's leaving Tutorial Island at the same time, so no one has huge advantages. Or you can even stem an event off that before, like we do a teams, or one of the, like we did at the start of this last race, a little mini event, and that gives the other team 1 hour head start to pull their heads out of their asses in the league's world.
Mhm.
You know, so it I think it's a very open concept potential idea that would be a lot of fun if people were open-minded to it and didn't hone in on the fact that it's leagues. I'm only going to get a cosmetic if that from it, and focus more on the, hey, this is kind of almost a private server world aspect event that we only have access to at this time of year. So if you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out. And like whoever, the
And
voices
it's
are all
very
melding
unique
together. Sorry,
too.
boys.
No, I'm sure no one
And-
else has done that, so that's really cool.
Exactly, and that will give people like 6 months to be like, you know, when it comes around, yeah, sure, I'll make an account with the boys and participate in this. That'll be great. And versus, no, I'm gonna stay and grind, because the best thing about leagues is I always play it on my pure account, my main, and then I do all this shit like fishing anglers on my irons. So I'm not necessarily losing time on the account that I play, but I'm still experiencing the fun of the temporary game mode.
Mhm.
Food for thought. All right, next one here on the list of topics. This is actually a project that I was working on for the past week. So I'm gonna switch screens. I think you guys already know what I'm about to show. Wait, I'm not supposed to, that's the wrong thing I'm supposed to click. Fuck. What am I doing? Okay, I switched screens. So essentially what I did is, I should have showed this tile first. So I took all the previous events that we've done in the past, which is a total of 11, and I data dumped every single tile that was acquired, their name, and the points that are associated. Just for like reference, the way we calculate a point is 1 point is equivalent to 1 hour of grinding the boss. So if imagine a tile is like a 1 in 500 from Warcraft, well, Warcraft is 30 kills an hour, so we can assume that the tile is 16 hours, which is 16 points, or actually like 16.6, but whatever.
Interesting.
And that's how we calculate and rate our point system, and that's how we actually do balancing too, by using points. It's a lot easier. So I also data dumped the wins and all the tiles, and there's a shit ton, by the way. There's like over 1,000 lines. How many lines? Like 1,500 lines. And I extract this data afterwards and sort them in order. So for example, like who has what, and then I sort them here in the leaderboard section. So you see here, and I'm gonna put this in the description, by the way. So you see here, these are all the events we've done in the past, all 11, and the dates. Which
You are
team
not
won.
live.
I'm talking to the people on YouTube. But if you want to open the sheet, RNG, it's in Hall of Fame on Discord. Right?
Yeah,
Yep,
it is.
Cool.
Mm.
You guys were like all quiet. So these have all the comps, the dates from which they were played, which team won, how many signups we had, which you can see a trend of increasing, which is really cool. How many bonds were the prize pool, which is a lot in total, by the way, like a shit ton of money. And the link of each comp if you want to go see it yourself. So not only if you're trying to like create or design a comp for your own CC, which I've had questions, by the way, Ferro. People have reached out to me for questions making their own
Really?
comp. Yeah, it's really cool. And I sent them like old comps and told them to PM me for questions and all that. So if you're ever making a comp, you can use these links for for reference. You can even copy pasta them if you want to be lazy. And these are the rankings. So you can see some people played every single comp. Like Manic played every single one. Ferro, you only played 10 comps. You missed one.
Yeah, I probably couldn't play it.
Oh, it was the one that you were like you
It's
had to
probably
go
out of town or
weekends.
something.
Yeah, I remember. And you can see the win rates. So the person with the most wins is Trexie with 7 wins, which 70% win rate. And there's also someone else, which is
Wesley, I think,
Wesley.
is
Yeah,
6.
6 wins, 0 losses.
Wesley's demon.
He's never lost
Whoa.
a comp yet. Which is
That means
crazy.
he's never played with Nate, is what I'm hearing.
I'll make sure we change
Dude,
that.
that's actually funny because it's true. Dude, Nate's
So who's
gonna
RG's gonna fucking pull ahead?
Nate's gonna
losing
first pick
streaks
him
or
next bingo. He's gonna
others'
just
win
first
Right.
pick him.
Problem solved, baby.
It's either you're undefeated. It's either that I get my first win or you lose your undefeated status, dude.
I still remember when Raul got first picked and he like signed up for like 4 hours and then he does like 200 like fucking EH B in like
tiles?
an hour and locks off.
Yeah,
Wasn't
and
he
like
just kicking back doing corp and drinking beers for that too?
no, he did like Tob, like 2 Tobs, got the Justy tile, and then he did like a couple more. Like he spooned everything.
Oh,
It was
God.
crazy.
Yeah, I think he did get a
Typical.
sigil too, didn't he?
Did he? I don't-
During one of them, during one of the events, he just was
Hurricane,
memeing and
right?
doing corp and with his feet up, doing things, and yeah,
Fucking
That's
Raul.
Raul,
What a
too.
Chad, dude.
yeah, right, average.
But yeah, it's really cool to see like everyone. There's a couple glitches that I have to fix manually, which is fucking annoying. Like because it was extracted.
Doug
From,
Dimmadome.
yeah, a lot of issues here, but like I fixed a few that were like really bad, and I CBA for the others. So maybe I'll hire an intern and make him do it. But yeah, that's another project. I'll go back to RS. So yeah, that's discuss. Any ideas, feedback? I don't think there's much to say about that, honestly, unless you guys have something to say.
It's just really cool to see it all together and see how each person's done individually.
Yeah,
For
and
all
one
of
thing to
them.
note too is like
Now this is what people will use to draft.
I mean, that's true. People will definitely refer to
Um,
it. But one thing you'd have to remember though is the comps in the past, they were like 7 or 9 days long. So getting like 100 points in a comp was actually realistic, as opposed to a weekend bingo, you'd have to like giga spoon to get that many points in a comp. So it's definitely inflated in that sense.
How do we do that again, Pyro?
Do what?
Pyro's
100 points on a weekend bingo.
Oh,
it's free, dude. You just don't sleep.
yeah, just don't
Just
sleep.
don't sleep. Yeah.
Okay, now are you
Um,
guys ready for the best part? The
Always.
reason why Ferro came on today.
Wait, what?
Oh, Ferro.
Pause. So, future ideas for events.
Oh.
So I'm gonna discuss a few ideas quickly, and then we can I'm gonna talk about the ones we've done in the past, and then I'm gonna list a few ideas, and we can discuss them, and then you guys can list your ideas. So in the past, we've done top learner events, which is like I mean RNGs did it. I didn't. I just kind of helped on the first one because I topped back then. But he did like a learner top event where we would take learners and teach them top. We're also doing a CM learner event, which is gonna be next weekend. We also do raffles, which is like essentially there's one planned at the end of the year, by the way. Which what happens is every time you kill a boss or gain an XP, it gives you a ticket, and then at the end of the comp, we pull the one ticket that wins a bond. So the goal is that even if you don't plan to play as much, you can still do like one Zora and have a chance of winning, which is cool. We have the bingos, which we've discussed. Oh, I'm talking too much. Sorry. 1 second.
Hydrate gamer.
Okay, I muted my mic for the video,
Yeah.
but not for you guys. Sorry.
What is it?
So, yeah, bingos. We also have a PVM comp, which is something new, and the next comp is actually planned to be a PVM comp. By the way, should I show it quickly? We can talk about the PVM.
Is it the
comp.
same as the last PVM comp?
Yeah, except we'll just add
Okay.
the. So I'll show it on the screen for the people on YouTube. So if you're killing your bosses, you should probably glance over. The first time we did it was in June of last year, by the way, which is a really long time ago.
Yeah.
So essentially, what it is that every single boss with every single unique is tabulated here, and you do basically whatever you want, and whatever drop you get counts for points on your team, and the team with the most points wins. So you see, we had barrels there, we had raids, we have DKs, and obviously we're gonna be adding the TOA and the new bosses. I think Nex is not on there either, so we have to add that. And there's also a speedrun category, which there's easy. Let me go find it. Where is it? Is it in here? Database. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, Monka.
I was hoping on it.
So you see here, there's like easy, medium, and hard categories, and they were pretty easy for back then, so you might have to make them a little harder. And you get points for that too. And the team with the most points wins. And you can see here, team 1-1. And what's really cool about this comp is that you're not forced into anything. You kind of do whatever you want. So if imagine you only want to Tob, you can Tob the whole fucking comp. That's not an issue because you still get points. But obviously it's more efficient to jump between content because the first drop you get is going to be easier than if you're hunting Tob for a specific item, it's a lot more difficult than if you're doing chambers for anything. So that's the comp quickly. And what do you guys think about PVM comp, and what would you like to see for the next one, which is going to be in a month and a half?
I remember
missed
the last
first
PVM comp.
one.
Sorry?
I just
Go for it, Pyro.
the last PVM comp, I just killed the shamans the whole time because I needed my hammer.
My man, dude. BWAK, what were you going to say?
I don't think I actually was in that event. I must have been busy or something. So I'm actually very intrigued by that. That sounds fun. It still gives you the option of the bounce around that I know Nate, myself, and a lot of others are fond of without any kind of slap on the hand or anything. And that just sounds like a great way to make an excuse for me to do some grinds that I need to do, like Bandos' stupid handle.
Yeah, and I also really liked it because the categories and speeds, it's in teams. So you would like purposely get someone that's like lower KC, do a CM with them to get that free 2 points, and then that even if you got a purple, that was bonus. But if you didn't get a purple, you still got points for your team. So the speedrun categories was really fun.
I really liked that being introduced into the race. So I'm excited to see more of those over time.
So anything else, Ferro or?
Yeah, the PVM comp is not my favorite because, I mean, you do whatever you want to do, but that then just basically play a lot, you know.
Yeah, and there's no strategy, but it's more of a it's more of a reclined comp. It's like
yeah,
it's kind of to cool off from the race, I guess.
Yeah.
Skill comp lame, top comp win.
Top comp.
I suppose we should, kick around the potential idea of TOA teaching too still. I know I see lots of people in our clan alone saying, hey, I still haven't made it there. Anyone willing to teach? Like I know Seb just came back and I feel like it took him a couple days almost, not because people weren't wanting to. It's just the timings weren't working out. Like I would have loved to personally. I've just been busy.
Yeah, it's a good idea actually. TOA learner events.
But while people are still learning, like before we're next year and now nobody wants to do it anymore.
I mean, we could still do it. Like in TOA, like a 150 learner is like, as long as you have like 3 or 4 good people, it's pretty easy. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. I took a couple friends. I dragged people in Void just to show them all the mechanics and stuff, and they leave with completions and not poop ideally. So as long as that's the product, it's still a win.
But I mean, also like the CM learner event, I feel like we are lacking a bit of CMers in the CC, which is why I did it. But the next one could definitely be
by the way. I need to sign up for that CM learner. So
Hell
I'll be
yeah.
doing that after this.
I need to.
I'm only signing up to it if I get the BOFA first.
I still remember Ferro took me and Raw on like our first one. We didn't make time, and I'm like, how the fuck do you not make time? It's impossible to not make time.
It was the last time I actually did chambers. Like it was another age. No Bofa. Vasa was hard.
So
Yeah,
Vasa was
Vanguard.
hard.
Yeah, like you actually. I remember doing with Rescued. We had like max melee, which was bandos at the time, and a rapier, and we both like in a duo often would fail a crystal kill
yeah, shit was rough
because
because
like
they
it's
had higher
scaled.
higher
Yeah,
defense too back
it's
then.
scaled. Yeah.
A lot
And
of
then you didn't have the chest like pre-built. Like
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of small shit. Like the vanguards was harder. You didn't
That's
have
true.
the big blob around them
the
as
ice
the
demon
cheat
was slow as
clients.
shit.
And I don't
Ice
I don't think
demon,
no poke
yeah.
Vistula was a thing there either.
It was the teething was like one at a time too. It was like just a lot of shit. That
But I'm glad you come back to
yeah.
CMs. Why do you want to do CMs though?
I don't wanna.
Oh, I was like, what the hell?
I'm done there. Like I'm out of there, dude.
Point of view, you get crushed.
Dude, I
I
got
mean,
giga crushed.
I mean, I only need the capes, but I don't care about those. So
Take that back. No, I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
I mean,
All right. The other idea here I had was a raids comp idea, which is not actually my idea. It was when I was doing my 5-man top speed for CAs. There was one guy who was an owner of another CC, and we were talking because he was making events for his clan. I think his name was Esqueret. I'm not sure, he's not online, but and he told me that like the way that he did an event that he thought was gonna fail, but it turns out it was the best event he ever did in his clan, and it was a raids comp, basically. So it's like a PVM comp, but only for raids, and each drop from raids, so you'd have Chambers, Tob, and Toa would give points, just like the PVM comp. However, there was a scaling mechanic where if you had a learner on your team, and a learner would be defined as someone with that's not ranked on the high scores. So for Tob, it's sub 50 KC for like exactly the same for Chambers and Toa. But for CMs, it's sub 10 KC. You
It's 5 now.
Oh, it's 5. Fuck, maybe we
Yeah.
might have to increase it for CMs. and then we and if there's a learner on your team, it doubles the points. So I just say like an arcane is 10 points, but if you get an arcane and there's a learner on your team, you get 20 points instead. Now, I proposed this idea to like Heffy a while ago, and he said, no, people are just gonna carry. And that's true that like people are gonna carry, but it doesn't mean that you're getting carried, that you're just like not doing anything, right? Like you're likely still gonna be learning mechanics. So I think it'll be cool as an event because you're promoting people learning the raids because they get more points. And imagine if like me, Ferro, and RNG wanted to do trio Tob. Well, we're actually better off doing a 4-man Tob with a learner. We'll get way more points per hour as opposed to trio, even though trios are more efficient for purples. So it's like
Zero Taupe KC, by the way.
hell yeah, it's time.
yeah, I feel like that's a good idea. I feel like the PVM comp, it shouldn't be all the content in the game. Maybe section it, like
Like remove some.
like do Slayer only or raids only.
I mean, honestly,
I
I'm
feel like
down to make PVM comp raids comp instead.
yeah, because I feel
raids
like it's
comp
just
is
too
just
open.
better.
You just do like PVM comp, you just do whatever you would be doing anyways. You know.
Well, for us PVMers, yeah.
I mean, for me, it wouldn't be as hype as any other format. Even a normal bingo is more hype for me. But I don't know. It's just opinion, I guess.
I mean, I don't mind doing raids comp or PVM comp as long as like people are down with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want like I would it would suck if raids comp just becomes like Heffy doing 1+5s and that's it. Like, because then that's
the
like
tech though.
I mean the tech would be 1+1 because you would still double the points in a +5, but like it'll be just kind of boring for whoever's scaling that's not actually learning chambers. So maybe we have like a limitation where you have to help. You can't just like leash or scale, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, it's a good idea. The next one
It
here
works.
is there anything else to say about the rates comp, or do I move on to the next one?
I think it's fine.
All right. The next idea is tic-tac-toe. This is actually a comp that was done by one of my friends in another normie CC, so they're all normies. And essentially it's a 3x3 board, and there's 9 tiles, obviously 3x3, and each team, it would be Team X versus Team O. And the way it would work is if your team gets a tile, that tile becomes either an X and an O, depending on your team, just like tic-tac-toe. However, if the other team gets the
XO.
same tile,
XO.
BWAK is just like, if the other team gets the same tile, they basically revert it. So imagine if Team X gets the first tile, and then Team O gets the same tile right after. Well, the tile becomes an O now, so it gets flipped. So that way, if
Oh
a team
my
is about
God.
to win, you can either try to cancel their win by getting that tile, or you could try to rag another tile that they have so that it flips polarities, so they don't get the win if they get the tile. So there's a bit of
Interesting.
strategy involved, but not that much. The strategy is basically just telling your team, okay, everyone go do bandos, like, everyone do this, everyone do that, you know.
I feel like the one big thing everyone would have to accept for that is there will be a lot of yelling.
Oh yeah, because imagine you go dry and you pull like the top tile, and then right after the other team, 30 minutes later, they get the same tile and they cancel yours. Like,
Yeah. That'd be great for
Ah.
content though.
The flipping,
100%.
it's kind of sketchy, but I
it's
guess it
because
could
if you
work
don't
on a
do
small
flipping,
tile.
it'll finish too fast. That's the problem.
I mean, we could make like multiple games, like
At the
best
same
of
time.
5.
Okay, I thought you mean like at the same time.
I mean, we could also, yeah, just do like 5 boards, and you gotta win 3 of them.
Oh, that
I
would
don't-
be cool then. But
But
that's
I
a
feel
lot
like
of tiles though. I mean, 3 boards is not that
Yeah.
bad. That's like 27
that's
tiles.
true.
That's
Yeah.
doable. That'd be cool. So, any
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
You could even make it a tournament style, and the first 2 boards that the teams are on, you are unable to rag, and whoever finishes fastest has some advantage or something.
Oh, they
in
move
terms of
on to the
ragging up
next
the
one.
final. Yeah,
There's
set it
a
up to
lot of
where
potential.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great base idea with lots, and you can even troll it to where if you hit stalemates, let's bust out the old coin flip on Google.
If you hit stalemate, you each have to grab an AGS, and AGS spec a guard, and whoever hits the highest wins.
Yes,
Yes.
but make that guard a Drake just for fun.
Or make it bandos or something.
And then
Make it chill.
Oh my gosh, no way. You make
Oh,
it a hardcore, dude.
We got to protect our red helm. We're low on them.
Dude, honestly, Shia would probably let us do it.
we're low on them.
That's
He
funny.
might.
Okay, the next idea here is like it's not fleshed out, but it's just like a solo event where like no teams basically, everyone's solo. So it's I kind of thought of that after the whole like shit show from the race, because I was thinking to myself like, what's an event we can do that's like chill, but I don't think it's gonna work personally. So I'm just mentioning it, unless you guys have better ideas on what to do on it.
But what's you just want to do a solo event, just that.
Yeah, it's like every man for himself.
Isn't that kind of what our raffles are though? That we got.
Yeah.
Basically, or the skilling comms too. Oh, no way, bro.
No way.
Rats, dude.
No way. Hi, YouTube.
Oh,
Bro, no way we
That
pulled that
was-
during a fucking ramble, dude.
That was on my MVP. You rat.
Little rat.
Holy fuck, those are 10 mil?
What the hell, dude?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, nobody tell Salty Diva, okay? Nobody tell him.
Oh,
Oh shit! What the fuck? I was actually just thinking too how crazy it would be if we pull a drop during a podcast. Well, that's just gonna
Congrats,
spoil the
dude.
video, but it's fine.
Grats.
If they watch
I
this
think, like-
far, they deserved it, dude.
At this point, I think 150k for us to get one. So
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty funny. Okay, I'm sorry I sniped it, but collection log
It's fine.
priorities. So
I still need that. I still need it.
well, all right. Well,
We
Chipper
don't
has
have
to
any-
volcano again.
okay,
Well,
so
Nick's losing streak continues.
I guess we continue. So
Sorry, buddy.
The next idea here was what Ferro mentioned: battleship. Ferro, do you want to You want to describe it?
Oh baby.
So picture a normal bingo board. But then right after the draft, the captains would go and place the ships like in a traditional battleship game.
How big are
S-
these ships?
I mean,
I was thinking already about it, Ferro. I don't think we could do ships because we'd have to make a really big board. I think we would just have tiles. So you'd place a ship on a tile.
I feel like a 7x7 board would be fine.
If you have like smaller ships, like 2x1.
And then 2x1, 3x1, 4x1, yeah.
I guess so. That could work too.
So
is this something only the captains know too?
Yeah. No.
mean,
The
no idea.
the way I thought of it is that you would have the comp starts, we do the draft, and then we have like a 15-minute period between the end of the draft and the start of the event. And then all teams go in their channels separately.
Yeah, and then they place the
and then they
ships.
strategize because you can place your ships wherever you want. So you can maybe try to like reverse psychology and place your ships on shitty tiles, or you can be smart like logically and place your ships on hard tiles. You can do whatever you want with that. And then after 15 minutes, the captain's PM whoever's leading the comp, which would be kind of rough. Like imagine if it's me and you, Ferro, that leads the comp. Like we would have to be very careful about like because if imagine we start doing Zora, like it's might be biased because there's a Zora tile, right? So you have to like tell the captains of our teams like tell me what to do, and then we'll do it.
No, but we would work away on that. Each team only knows their own board. You know.
Yeah,
We
it
can
would
work
have to be that
away.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
then the
then,
captains would communicate that information to the whoever the board owner is, and then they would place the like virtually place it in like a paper on the side in person. And then whenever a team gets a tile, you would be able to say hit or miss or whatever. It would be cool.
Yeah. And then like wins, of course, whenever you kill all the other
ships.
the enemy ships. Yeah.
Honestly, I think after the PVM/raids comp, we can do that. Because I feel
think the only
bingos
danger
get
is
stale, and our CC is just like we can still do bingos here and there, but I feel like we can do better.
I just feel like the only danger is going to be like someone leaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a team member.
Third
Screenshot.
imposter.
That's why I thought about only the captains do the placing.
So the captains do the placing in advance, basically. Like before.
Yeah, or like
That
like
could
right
work
after
too.
draft or
Before draft even. I mean, it's the
yeah.
But then would the captains tell their team? Because it's kind of fun to. I feel like it would be more fun if the players place the.
It would. Yeah, but it needs to remain a secret for the
I mean,
sake
if
of
someone leaks that, then we can just say you're banned from the CC. Honestly, like I'm sure Sweep would back us up with that, and Heffy too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like really shitty. Like you basically.
Yeah, it would literally like ruin the competition.
Yeah. And it's always possible someone gets angry or whatever.
Yeah.
Unless you did like smaller teams. Like so okay, no, hear me out. Why can't you have 4 teams, a 2v2, and then winner of each team fights each other, and then the losers go for third place?
What if you have 4 teams? Okay, same idea as you, but when you get a tile, you basically can throw the missile on whichever other team board you want.
You have to get multiples of the same tile.
Exactly, you can get the same tile. So imagine you tell like Team Green and Team Yellow, they're like, you know what? Fuck Team Red. Trexie has to lose. Let's just like tag team him, and then every time they get tiles, they throw it on Trexie. How fucking sick would that be?
Bro.
And you form like alliances, and then you backstab each other.
Oh god.
I feel like that could get hairy.
That would get hairy, yeah. But it's a way to have more teams in Battleship.
Yeah, that's the concept. Like normal bingo board, whenever you get the tile, you reveal if it's a hit or miss. And yeah.
Dude, honestly, bro, like
yeah.
I'm just thinking about like the design aspect and the UI of the board. We can hide like where the ships are and then like show it just like the race when you reveal tiles and reveal hit or miss. Like
that would be like the design. It would be just like the races.
That'd be so sick, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I even thought a bit of how to do it, so it's very doable.
And there's a lot of little things we can do too. Like we can have like the reveal a tile could be like fucking considered basically a free tile. Like
yeah.
That's I don't. That's cool. Or it could scout. Like you can scout if a ship is there. But
Yeah,
if you
before
scout a ship is
doing
actually
it.
there, you still have to kill it, So it's like, dude, this
Yeah, it's true.
so
true.
much depth to that, bro. I'm down to do that one next.
Yeah.
But those are all of my ideas that I had listed. Is there any other ideas of comps you guys have?
No. I just had the battleship one.
Well, it's not my idea, but other people have suggested it, like a clan versus clan one.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's just our CC is so
Yeah, I
fucking
mean,
toxic.
logistically, yeah.
Our CC is so toxic that I feel like we're gonna get like, it's not gonna go in a good direct. Like, it's one thing to flame the other team that's in your clan, but when you start flaming another CC that you don't know anyone in, like, it's gonna be rough, dude.
The only
Yeah.
possible like contender itself would also be like probably Valiance, because we're just
No,
we have
we
too
would
much
get
people.
destroyed by Valiants, dude.
No, we
Yeah,
would,
yeah.
but what I'm saying is like there's literally nothing else that like has 100 people participate.
There's other CCs that have like decent people, and we can always limit our signups. Like,
Oh, BWAK.
dude, BWAK, why are you trying to cause trouble, dude?
It's all out of love.
Oh my gosh. Clear history. Okay. So
Sorry.
all right. I mean, I guess if there's no other, I'm not trying to think any other stupid ideas I had for events in the past.
The battleship one has me hyped because just like a bunch of the other potential ideas, they're just limitless, and that's awesome that these base ideas are already cooking around so hard. Now it's just a matter of execution and then fine tuning to infinite potential for. I don't know how many years we're all going to be sitting here, but they're going to be fun years, that's for sure, man.
True, dude. Yeah, we have to find shit to do.
I think at some point someone mentioned like a collection log event. Now it doesn't really work out in practice, but somehow incorporating that idea into it, how like collection log slots count as points, or like EHB or some weird shit.
Lone Jim
Lone
Rat, bottom
last
pick.
pick.
Yeah, like
Last
literally, dude, that would be last pick, bro.
But that's why if it's a point, like if you get like for example, a crystal and tool seed, it's like worth like 100 points, whereas me going and getting all those 10 notes are worth like 0.1 points.
Oh, like you could
True.
like you EHC them, so you put points based
Yeah.
on them.
Tedious
guess.
has to have something like that built,
But like
right?
it's
I
really
have
just
something
like
like that
yeah.
built already from my
Hey,
ramble.
attaboy.
Dude, I'm a DJ. Come on, man. What do you expect?
I should have expected that. That's my bad. That's my bad.
So like create a collection log for a team is what you're saying?
Point system
A
for
Well,
it.
team
it'll
has
be basically
has
like
their
a
own like
bingo, but
collection
only
log?
collection log, and like you get points. It's basically a PVM comp, but for collection log, right? That's basically what it would be. I mean, I feel like collection logging in the CC is still big, but not big enough. Like, we don't have everyone doing it, so it's not like a. I don't know. I feel like we'd have like 25 signups.
It's hard to
That's I know.
balance it too, because I mean, yeah. Whatever.
It's doable, but I feel like I'm not ready. Not
Oh, you
just
could.
yet.
I mean, you could do something like where like it's like if it's not a collection log for you personally, it's worth less. But if it is, it'd be worth more.
So you can still redo shit. And I see.
Wait, I've got it. And one of the fucking bingo things is get 100 clog slots as a team, or some weird
Oh.
shit like that. Like maybe not 100, but fine tune the number, maybe add some small restrictions.
We thought something like it out for the race. The tile would be like 2 champion scroll broadcast log.
So it have to be uniques, yeah.
So you had to be a unique scroll, yeah. But it's hard. I don't know to balance.
Not just yet. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
All right. The next one here: duration, team size, born side. I mean, we already spoke about that. I have a few questions, Spree, which is not that many questions. We could probably get more from you guys. But the first question is the efficiency mindset during bingo. So this is like one of BWAK's question. So you want to respond to that question, BWAK, since it was yours?
So I feel like we actually kind of hit on that a lot towards the beginning, because what I meant by that when I put it up as a potential topic was kind of like how the last race it went from nothing but fun right away to halfway down the board it was efficient escape, whereas no, we're not going backwards, we're not doing this. And what's the breaking line that we should expect from people? Like, because I'm always going to be the one that advocates for more fun, less efficient, which is a horrible mindset for the race. Don't get me wrong, I'm well aware of it, but it's it's always been more of an important part of the events for me to keep team participation high and keeping people going. Whereas I know once the plans are set and everybody's trying to be the best and be the fastest, a lot of people kind of get turned away from the atmosphere that it turns into, which is unavoidable to an extent. But I'm just curious, at what point do we like put a hammer down, almost reminding, hey guys, this is a fun event. Like, yeah, play to win, but you don't need to be ripping your own teammates apart to do it. But there is such a loaded question in itself that was why it was more of a idea, not a direct question for you. But that's kind of where my mind was at when I presented it. At least, it's how do we take what we know from the past events and attempt to improve that to appease overall, because we're never going to please everyone. We hit that same question with every event we have. But as our CC has been getting bigger and gearing better, and now the expectancy is to be at a higher tier, and if you can't operate on that, then you may or may not be stuck going to do one of these things that aren't as beneficial. Whereas it'll turn into, hey, we might benefit from you going to that path, getting that key, and what might be behind it, but
Sparrow
hey,
died.
Yeah.
Ferro died. but now we know that you can't help us with that, but we see 2 tiles down is a bankable tile. So how about instead of doing anything else you want to do, you go do that, and if we see you doing anything else, we're going to flame you, and then that flame just demotivates the person that's just trying to help and have fun.
I think
It
that
happens.
the difference between fun and competitiveness is very like closely together. But for the race, it's very exceptional because it's super high stakes. You need to
Yeah,
progress.
exactly.
If you don't progress forward, you're stuck. And if you're stuck, your team loses morale. And then holy shit, you got that guy. And then you burn out and all that. So I do agree that the race, I feel, is we're a little too competitive. And by doing that, we're making it unpleasant for some. Because not everyone is out here fucking degenning. Like, some people are
Oh,
signed up for
absolutely not.
purely for fun. Like, because it is fun.
Yeah, you got people who pop in for 4 hours, do what they can, and they pop in
And
and
they
they're on
have
that team.
kids,
It's
they
like,
have jobs, they have
yeah,
lives. Like, they
hey,
can't afford
hey,
to play that. Like,
glad you're here to help. Go hit those mithril dragons for us.
yeah, and it's like, I feel like at the other comps, like bingos and PVM comps, we don't have that issue because it's more chill and you kind of just
Yeah,
do whatever. But the race is just always going to be like that. There's not much we can do, and unless
yeah.
like we like
That's
I
what
don't even know, like.
this is all in the pot and being cooked as far as a final, like, how do we address this in a way where everything's good in the end. Like, because it's doable, but it has to come with some caveats of accepting the fact that certain people are always going to act this way, certain people aren't going to care either way, and the balance is always tricky. We hit it pretty good sometimes, and then it although after 40 hours of malnutrition and sitting in the same chair for a while, people get a little grouchy, so it's to be expected.
I mean, I guess
But I
that
don't
kind of
know.
like pans into the next question, which is the current direction of the CC for our events. Like, where do you see the
Oh, that was
CC in?
unintentional.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
It's like, oh, that was unintentional. My bad.
No, but it's like a good progress to it. But how do you see the events in the future in the CC? Do you think it'll be more competitive, less competitive, more signups? Like, what do you expect?
Oh, it's always going to be more competitive if it's the same people in almost every event because I mean, there are many rivalries that are made, and it's just if it's always the same people, yeah, it's just gonna get more and more competitive. I do like when we have like 100 people though, because it's a lot more fun. A lot is going on at once, which I find a lot of fun. Yeah, I definitely think it as time goes on and it's the same people each time, it gets very, very competitive.
Yeah. I don't
I
know.
mean,
I think I like the direction that it's taking. We are getting a little
yeah,
too toxic, I find, and I think that's kind of our bad by not like doing any form of moderation. Like the small things like no towel, no grats. Like it's kind of mean, but it's just like we're just all trolling, right? It's fair game, but it also
Yeah.
causes escalation with like people saying more meaner things and so on and verbal, and it's just always gets worse and worse. The only way we can correct that is by like moderating severely and docking points from people for being toxic and shit like that. But if we start doing that, we're gonna get even more hate, and it's just gonna
yeah.
be worse.
And
Yeah.
I think it's just a byproduct of something that you've mentioned in the past too. Like as these have gone on, a lot more of the clan, which is constantly growing every day. More people are stopping by now, especially lately, it seems. And now we are inevitably going to have more signups. There's going to be more people. There's going to be more people playing with people of higher tier, like your 410 group, your Speedy Boys, for example. Like that mindset of gamer is becoming more common amongst a huge group of people that didn't have that before. And if you aren't just chilling with your friends and doing that content, you have to be that backbreaking, sweaty, efficient gamer. And as more and more of our laid back gamers kind of get not, I don't want to say forced. You're not really forced to do anything in this game. But if you want to go do speedy toes, if you want to do top, if you want to do good chambers teams, you have to be. And it's a little bit of a disconnect of remembering you're with someone that's fresh, like, and sometimes those wavelengths get confused. Is all, but it's to be expected. And then, like you say, there's no way we can avoid it. It should be more of a kind of by participating in these kind of events, you may or may not have this happen. And that way, I wouldn't say that's a fix by any means, but at least that gives everybody the mental like, hey, remember this is this. We are going to get fiery. It is going to get there might be blood and other fluids, God knows. But in the end, it's an event for the clan as a whole, and no matter how we slice it, at least a few people are going to end the event with an upgrade that's going to let them move towards the path of joining those teams with the sweatier mindsets where you'll get a lot of game knowledge, but relaxation isn't exactly on the menu all the time.
And also just to piggyback, like I feel like a lot of people don't understand that this CC isn't solitary. Like we're not out here degenning and like playing this comp for our lives. Like we're all most of
Yeah.
us are most of us playing this game have other shit to do in real life. We have jobs. We have some of us have kids, wives, and so on. Like this game is just like a pastime for us. That's to relieve stress and relax. And I feel like some people take it too seriously in these comps, which is fine. Like it is fun, but we have to remember that we're all friends here. We're not like we're just. It's a friendly. It's like playing garage soccer, garage hockey. You're just having fun with your
Yeah,
friends.
man.
Like
Exactly.
you're not gonna play. You're not gonna start like playing full contact and fist fighting each other. Like you're just we have a good laugh, drink a beer, and move on.
Yeah, that all happens at Sears after the events.
That happens on Saturdays with edibles instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there any questions you guys want to bring up before we conclude?
Uh, Nothing here.
I have a question. Volcano doesn't charge me for my stuff back, does it? I've never died there.
It's like a regular dev, so you have I think you have to. There's like a gravestone, right?
Gravestone.
Yeah, it's a
Okay, cool.
gravestone.
Cool,
So it should
thanks.
be fine because you're not risking much GP anyway. So
No, yeah, no. It's just like had my one teleport seed on me.
Yeah, no questions really. I mean, obviously, a lot of people appreciate Lone and Ferro for putting time into making these. I know you guys join up in a voice call and go over the board for quite a long time every event that you guys make, and I guess it usually there's never really a bad event that you guys have really done that no one enjoys. So I just thanks for stepping up and creating these for us.
Yeah, thanks for participating. It's fun with the
Yeah.
participation too. And on like a on a side note for that, I think I'm gonna start delegating a little bit of my of the work. Like so, if you're in the CC and you're interested in helping making these comps, like you can help out. Like it's not only me and Ferro that make events. Like we also get consulted by other people. Like Trexie's been involved in some of them, and Heffy too sometimes. Surprisingly, he doesn't just say solo Toa. He says other shit, you know. And so if you want to be involved, you can definitely reach out, and we can make you implicate you in these events for either the planning, the designing, or if you want a captain too. We honestly, I think we're kind of lacking captains. We always have the same people captaining. I would like to see more people try it out. I think captaining is really fun, and the investment is only really draft. Besides that, you kind of just chill in the voice chat and help out and help people out and be like a neutral figure. So yeah. Cool. Anything else anyone else want to add, Ferro or?
I think we covered a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I expected
Okay.
this to be at least 3 to 4 hours, so
Yeah.
we're at 3
So
hours.
wins Battleship, boys. Let's.
Let's do PVM comp and then we can announce Battleship.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good.
BWAK is like so excited now.
Yeah, torqued, man. I'm torqued. I love the
Torqued.
events.
Yeah, well, other than that, GZ on sniping my crystal tool seed.
TY, dude,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go make that. I think now that means I have to count masses for green log, which is actually good because that's actually the best way to go for green log. So maybe I pulled Volcano masses between Toas.
What do you need now? Pet?
Pet and the shard thingy
Shard thingy.
from the
Okay.
deep
Oh, to
30
make the
pick.
cool pickaxe.
Yeah.
But how much rarer is the pet though? Like
The pet is a flat rate, so you just want to kill as many as possible.
yeah, but is it what like 1 in 2200 or something? I
Yeah.
can't remember.
And the seed is 1 in 200 to see one. So if you're doing like a 6-man, like in our case, it's 1 in 1200. So I got really lucky.
Yeah, but okay, so if you're doing like 10 mans, you should expect to see a tool seed in your name same time as
Every
you get a
2,
pet.
yeah. But the actual efficient route is to do 4 mans until you get the seed. Then afterwards you do masses till green log.
Learning a whole lot about Volcano today, that's for sure.
Dude, it's crazy how much stupid knowledge I have about this shit, man. Like, what the fuck?
It's collection log.
It's like
You
Zook,
just know stuff.
like Zook one time, he's like in the CC, he's like, does anyone know how many Castle Wars tickets you get per hour? And I just respond 8.18. And then everyone in the CC question marked me like, what the fuck, dude? Why do you know that, dude? I'm just like,
so specific.
I'm just like, don't
so
ask.
specific, too.
Jesus Christ.
What's 60 divided by 23? Times 100. Oh, no, times 3, sorry. 100 is for trouble brewing.
Oh, you know that too. Okay.
Dude, I made guides on those two, man. Those two contents on YouTube.
Where can you find those guides?
Oh, it's gonna be in the description. No, I don't think people need Oh, got the question mark from BWAK. All right. Well, that's all I have, honestly. I'm gonna conclude. If there's is there anything else you guys want to say? Any final goodbyes? Any shout outs? Any what next? When do you think we should have the next event after PVM comp?
Shout out 07 Iron Lone Gym Rat Podcast for inviting the Giga Spoon and the Inefficient Spoon to come join you and teach me Volcano. And I'm excited for all the events. You guys know I'm always super hyped for these, so I can't wait. The sooner the better. The Battleship, the tic-tac-toe, the whatever universe drinking game Lone was talking about. I'm all for it, man. Just give it all. Give it all.
Just do it. Just pot it, dude. That's all you want to see. Just do it. Hell yeah, dude. That's the attitude. Got any plans to be a captain?
I'd be down. I'd be very interested. And if we do the TOA learner thing, I'm more than happy to sign up as a teacher for that. I'm very confident at TOA.
Hell yeah. I think there's a lot of people that are confident, so it shouldn't be too hard to find teachers. Just like, which would be cool. But we can definitely do that next. I'm down for just doing 150s and teaching 8-mans or 7-mans or something. Cool.
Yeah, I'm all into it.
Any other final words, Pyro?
Nope.
Wins the third Juratic bottom, Pyro.
What the fuck?
No.
Okay, RNG. Any final words?
Nope.
I got nothing either. Sorry.
All right, Nate, you're last.
Subscribe to Lone Gym Rat YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hell yeah,
Click
dude.
the bell
Yeah.
icon.
And hopefully you're enjoying whatever grind you did for the past 3 hours while listening to this, and hopefully you got a drop just like I did. And
I didn't.
I did not.
bro, what the fuck? Okay, well, on that note, this concludes the podcast. So feel free to comment any ideas for future podcasts. I've been discussing with BWAK, which is an ex-Solitary member, and he was saying how he likes these podcasts, and like I asked him if he's down to join, which is actually a question I have for you guys. Should I keep this podcast like only 07 Iron, or should I just like invite guests? I think it'll be more fun if I invite like people, other irons.
There's nothing wrong with having a healthy mix of
Yeah,
both.
why not? Why not both? Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. So it'd be cool to do a podcast where we get like a couple of the ex-Solitary members and we just talk about the Solitary events and the vibe in the CC and what they think about Valiance. Because I'm not in that CC.
Sebe.
Hashtag
Sebe
Sebe.
collab when?
Dude, you have to stop harassing Sebe. He actually PM'd me saying stop harassing me.
If he only knew that you have literally nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I know, it's not even my fault, dude. Like,
It's
RNG
it's
just
It's
sends
literally
me,
just whenever I see him at the crafting bank, I just make one comment.
bro, you send me screenshots every 2 days of you saying shit to Sebe. Like, the guy's for sure just thinking to himself, like, there's no way I'm inviting that guy. Like, he's fucking washed.
Yeah, well, maybe this will be the moment that he may or may not learn that you have never once told any. If anything, you encourage us not to do that, but you can't control us, man.
I
We're
can't
gonna do
control
what we do.
RNG, dude. He's out to get me.
I'm out of Tob. I have nothing left to do.
He's too bored.
2K keep. There's nothing left in life for the man. Just let him have it.
Nah, there's 2K cape on the normie now, and then he's good. And he does
Hey.
it. Then he does it on a UIM after. All right. Well, I was thinking of doing a podcast with hardcore, so like Trixie and Shillcat, just to talk about the hardcore vibe and all that. So I think that would be
Trixie
cool.
can't join that anymore.
He can still be like an honorable mention, you know. But yeah, peace out, Girl Scouts.
Bye.